Alright, we are back with more Saint of Godhrkar. I'm gonna keep it in the 18 plus tab, just in case another situation pops up like last stream, where everything just goes south. I am aware that my VTube model is going to be a lot more janky today. I don't know how to fix it. I've done it so many times where I'm trying to fix this thing and it's not working out. So I just let it go. I just let it be. Alright, time to pick up where we last left off. Hopefully we get to finish the game this stream, because we're on the last chapter. So hopefully nothing bad happens during that time. Alrighty. And then I think we left off on Let's Serial and Easton. I wonder what Let's Serial is doing, because last time when we played, he ended up getting killed by Hysono. So after that bad ending was passed through, there wasn't really an update on Let's Serial. So right now, I don't know where Let's Serial's at. I don't know how he's doing. Let's Serial suddenly stands up from the water. Okay. He gasps with lingering fear as the water in the tub gradually cools. What better time, am I right? Hopefully everything goes well at the doctor. And thank you for popping by. The young man would like to stay no longer. He quickly climbs out and dries himself. This small bathroom is shared among the neighborhood. The shop owner who took him in last time generously pays the bill for him so they can take a nice, comfy hot water bath. Aw, that's nice of him.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Miss Keshtazai. I'm sorry. At least on the bright side, this will be up on YouTube. So if you do want to continue like watching from like the story, there's that, and there'll be a VOD. Yeah, I think I'll still be here. Aww. Well, I think I'll still be here for a bit. Maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't know. So depending on how long your doctor appointments takes, maybe. The kind hostess is about to put half an omelet on his plate. At this moment, Let's Serial is wholeheartedly grateful for the grace of the Lord, for permitting his faithful follower to take him in. Oh, it seems a bit big.
Clear?
Is it? Then I will need to grow taller. Anyway, thank you so much for lending me this dress. It's windproof like a tent. The old lady smiles contentedly. She watches the young man sit down eagerly at the table and feast on the meal. Eat more. No need to be polite. When my son was your age, he ate twice as much as you do.
Sendomia.
Then I guess we'll have to eat more when he's not here. Wait, isn't he technically after you, considering he's part of the Order, and the Order's after your ass? Oh my god. Hiding underneath their noses.
Alen.
Alright, till he's back. Yo, he kinda is with his hair down, I ain't gonna lie. Let Serial chews his food silently to stop the questions coming out of his mouth. The old lady's unease and loneliness seemed to find an outlet, pouring out in front of the listener. If you see him, you definitely won't think that he's a man of the Lord of Service. Turna is playful and untidy. Neither does he have any good hobbies. All he likes is playing those little pinballs at the South Street.
Steer.
Last time, Marty next door was almost tripped over. She was holding a child. That's really a big one. The vase was broken too. Those were some of the finest roses. I can read today. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Letzeriel raised an eyebrow with surprise. For the first time, he heard about the worldly side of these priests from the residents of Thalazak.
Oh.
When is he going to come back? I mean, last episode he was in a train wreck accident situation, so maybe not anytime soon. He may or may not be dead because I didn't see him on the train before we left off, so... The pressure to impress. I can't keep up. He's going to come back very soon. Perhaps the scent of the bread softens the floodgate in his heart, because for a moment Letzeriel wishes from the bottom of his heart that the old woman's ardent wish would come true. He shrugs with embarrassment. Hemedy smiles understandingly and gets up to collect the empty plate in front of him.
Blocky.
Thank you.
Let's see.
I should thank you instead. Hope that I can meet him next time I come here. He stands up, gently kisses Hemedy's cheek, and leaves the well-meaning woman's flower shop. Although Hemedy showed reluctance, she knows this young man, like her son, has his own ambitions. I think he said something similar to it, yeah. The only thing she can do is provide a stop for their journey. She stands at the door and waves goodbye at the boy's back. Hey, Kaz! Okay, thank you for stopping by and saying hi. Hopefully everything goes well at school. I would say get good grades, but like, my time during school, I definitely for sure did not get good grades, and I didn't put any pressure on it, so... You get all A's? Hell yeah. I guess you could say this is a bad time for me. No, it's okay though. If you, like, you guys pay attention to school, pay attention to your doctor, and like, just chillax. I'll still be here. Maybe not after school, but like, yeah. The child leaves like her son, but with the blessing of Yichtis, she hopes they will return safely at last. This day has to be his last day in Thalazak. Letzeriel knows Thalazak can't contain him anymore. Before tomorrow comes, he must leave the city as soon as possible. However, things don't always go as planned. On this day, the train station is crowded with tourists, and most of them are marshals maintaining order, giving the young man the illusion that this is the rim of High. What happened? He does not see any riots or an organized strike. Only the marshals are coming in and out. Several stretchers are carried out and sent to the waiting black carriage. Wait, if everyone is meeting up at the train station at this specific point in time, where the fuck is, Shervlet? Dude. Is shit about to get more crazy? The stretchers are covered with white cloths, but a coughing fit shows that the patient is alive. They curl up in pain, their limbs twitching like they are having an epileptic seizure. Wait, if they're alive, why are we covering them like they're dead? What the fuck? The train station again, I know. His wandering sight suddenly catches a familiar figure. Although he doesn't know her name, Letzeriel remembers her from the Verathesis Order. I know. This is a bad time to go to the train station. His eyes follow her hurried steps and turns to the telephone booth not far away. Follow the woman. Fuck it. Everyone else is here. Might as well have Letzeriel join the cause. Letzeriel bites the inside of his cheek. While trying to keep up with her, he also has to worry about his own safety. The longer he stays in Zia Liza, the more danger he's in of being caught. As the young man hesitates for a brief moment, the woman pushes the door and walks out of the phone booth. Seeing that his clue is about to disappear, Letzeriel jumps up like he was hit with an electric shock. He chases after her. I mean, if everyone else is meeting together, why not have Letzeriel follow? It's only fair at this point. He looks around the street, worried that she's long gone. Fortunately, her long hair and single eye are easy to identify, which saves a lot of trouble. The coat of wandering priests becomes his best cover at the moment. Pedestrians all smile and make way, allowing him to pass. In the end, he follows the woman unhurriedly and arrives at the gate of the Grand Pian Theater. I obviously chose the plot. If he took a train, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten into like a train accident or some shit and he would have died. I ain't trusting that train no more. Not after last chapter. Ah, okay, it's Hisano. Okay, Hisano, how are you feeling? Yeah, the train is a whole boatload of what the heck. I'm not going back there. Although they travel with a vehicle with the frosty road, Amber has to take his best precautions. They can feel the wind pushing against their car as if trying to stop their journey. Without a word, the two men arrive at the church. However, the harsher the weather, the more religious the believers will be. There are more guards at the curious door than ever before, and their dark red cloaks flap in the wind like West Iri's flags. Hisano suddenly remembers the date. The day before the Feast of the Baptist, the very day of the purification ceremony. Amber had no idea, and not being a believer, he soon stopped while following Hisano into the church. He has to stay in the car and watch as Hisano hurries through the gate, wrapped in his priestly attire. The place remains the same as it had been for thousands of years. Solemn, sacred, and old. Hisano keeps walking through the Pope's garden towards Theophilsa Cathedral, where the purification is taking place. Dolores Guiel must be there.
Ah, Lud.
Hey, look! Isn't that Father Mulnathan?
Claire?
No church for your heathen ass. Not today. I think this is the day where they're about to have like their grand festival choir moment, so yeah, technically and technically not. What? Where?
Oi, Sventa!
Right there by the parterre. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't even know that word. Father Mulnathan.
Shh.
Shh! He'll disturb the baptism. Just outside the halls, Hisano notices two small figures before the doorway. He knows them, Philodia and Sisi, two excellent students who were called by the Pope to study at the church before they graduated from St. Godhrkar.
Melode, Saventa.
It's been a while, Father. What are you here for? Thanks.
It's a lie.
Glad to meet you too. I was wondering if Theophilsa Cathedral is still open.
Moya steer.
There's a purification ceremony going on in there. Now. There's a purification ceremony going on in there now. Oh, what do you mean he came too late? Is that a bad thing? Do I have to restart the entire thing and figure out where it fucked up? No. Hisano has come too late. Now that the bishop has started the purification process, Hisano would need to wait for the process to finish to see him again. Nothing can make up for the lost time. Should he just walk in? No, that would be too disrespectful. Worst case scenario, he could be thrown out and stripped of his duty as a priest. I know! Oh, fuck. Usually that music plays when I have to redo an entire chapter. God damn it.
Moya steer?
Is it an emergency?
The fee.
Yes. I think I should... Well, I must, but... I know that literally is the music that plays before somebody dies most of the time, so... But I don't think Hisano's gonna die now. That'd be weird. And the anxiety on Hisano's face infects the two young altar boys, who look at each other and think of a plan.
Ah, Kalvig Zanito.
I have a good idea. Come, Father, this way. Yo, clutch, possibly? They lead Hysno into a small changing room located just beside the purification hall. Saisei hesitates a little, but the daring Philadelphia picks up a bishop's robe and presents it to Hysno.
Reese, dear.
Come, Father, put on this robe.
Trun.
It's for the bishop. Won't you get in trouble for this? Most of the bishops gathered here today are guests from across the country. I think I'll avoid trouble as long as no one notices.
Him.
And we believe in you. You must have something important. Hysno is speechless. These children are here as interns to become future priests. They both graduated from St. Godhrkar and had always looked up to Hysno, but he feels that he's done nothing to deserve their respect. Thank you. I'll remember this favor. The ceremony hall is the first place one sees in Theophilus Cathedral. 4 thick walls enclose the hall with a flourish of wall paintings. In its center, a netted wall splits the room in half, leaving a small doorway in the middle. At the side facing Hysno, a few bishops are lined up sideways by the foot of the netted wall. Through the doorway, there is a shallow pool of water with a small golden goblet dripping water from above. The robe is long enough to cover his toes, but not his face. Thankfully, all of the bishops present are strangers who do not know his identity. Hysno hesitates, then lines up right behind them to enter the hall. Their ceremony must have been going on for some time already, because by the time Hysno enters the line, only 3 bishops are waiting in front. It only takes another few minutes for Hysno to receive his turn. This is his first purification. Walking into the area, Hysno keeps his head low in respect. A lady stands in the center of the pool. According to tradition, she should be Pope Gracia V, who carries out the ceremony. She seems to be in her late 50s, with silver hair and wrinkly hands, and her expression remains peaceful as if time left her with no scars. She smiles at Hysno and gestures for him to approach. Hysno stands right below the golden goblet and lets the water drip slowly on his head, on his eyes, one drop after another. With the holy water, accept Votru into your life and acknowledge Votru's breath of life. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours now and forever. The water is your mercy. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Save us from the time of trial and deliver us from evil. For our Votru will keep our blessed children, Hysno Molnathan, safe. Oh shit, she knows us! With the prayer coming to an end, the Pope gave a blessing to his name. Startled, Hysno looks up only to find her kind, loving eyes. She has no intention of exposing him. Instead, she blesses him with all her heart, as if seeing him is enough to make her day. May your path be bright forevermore. Yo, nice lady! Her hand gently sweeps across his face as if caressing a child, and his eyes become sore. Hysno apologizes sincerely within his heart to the Pope for even attempting something this disrespectful. Thank you, Your Holiness. Before his ascension to the priesthood, Hysno worked with Turna on the restoration of the texts of Theophilus Cathedral. The job, compared to what Sandra does now and then at St. Godhrkar, is more complicated, boring, and mechanical, with the sole benefit of being access to the various texts. Turna had only been working for 2 months before begging Bishop Guiel to allow his field attendance. While he stayed here, accompanied with books, seldom would people come here, and he enjoyed the peace. But this time, he does not want to make any more noise in the church. Oh. Why did that sound like we kicked open something? Hysno dismisses the 2 acolytes. He opens the gate and continues the work of Dolores Guiel, searching through books that might hold the answer. All of a sudden, a thin manual catches Hysno's attention, which is among the pile of books Guiel had found. On the cover of the manuscript is written a name, same period with Giselle the Saint. The Pope Sorrel Ernega IV. He opens it quickly. Like the rest of the books, it clearly describes the relationship between Votru and the other one. The people of the other one would call out its Yishtis to spread curses for bringing doom, while Votur's Yishtis will fight against it.
Moyaline.
So, the song must be... As he turns the next page, several illustrations appear in his vision. Yishti Simpal, dressed in white, blew seeds from its mouth, giving them to the people, and then disappears. And the seed-bearing warrior leads his army in a war against the evil people of the other one.
Klo?
Sarl? That is what Yishtis calls their servant. And a Sarl who has been given the seed can fight against the other one's Yishtis. The Pope Sarl wrote with such certainty. But why have you forsaken me by choosing Gazelle? My Votru, my Yishti Simpal, have you forsaken the church? Am I not your disciple, your servant? Yo, are we about to have like a war going on? Ice now closes the manuscript. The startling truth is sealed here, and the clergy has hidden history for a nebulous notion to be understood. This is the truth of faith. Only by obscuring the presence of Yishtis, by informing the people that they are sacred and invisible, can the church maintain its legitimacy after Yishti's departure. In any case, it still kindles hope in Hyacno's heart. Hector says there is a Yishtis that they take care of, and as long as there is someone that made a commitment with it, he will be granted the power to fight against the other one's Yishtis. But all of a sudden, what happened to Sayelt Molnathan comes into his mind. Hyacno suddenly understands why Rodriguez suspected that Prai was the man who had attacked the chief. His evidence is the Bonash of Yishtis on the scene. The savior they've been looking for. He's one of them. Oh shit, you guys are going after the wrong guy. Prai isn't the guy. I think it's Litzerial. I can go with Shervlet or Easton. You know, I'm gonna go with Easton. See what's going on here. You seriously want me to believe that music made these people like this?
We are steer.
Many songs, repeated many times, maybe. But your understanding is concise and fair. Yes. Wait, didn't I read this last time? I'm pretty sure I read this chapter already. Oh yeah, I did read this. What the fuck? Why is this repeating? Hold up. I need to skip this. Because I already read this. We ended stream on that chapter. Okay. So, there's nothing besides Easton. So I have no choice but to go to Shervlet. Okay. That makes sense. As the underground godfather of Thalazak, Murphy Tulane can't be more accommodating. He is not shy about where he came from. This man sold newspapers and cigarettes, and drove cars for East Promelandians in the south of the city. He's also either killed people or betrayed his godfather, and earned everything he has now, which he never denies. Judging the situation is his creed, which is more important than his dignity. Right now, for example, as long as Mafia Tulane can gain more southern domain, he will cooperate with the foes that he previously hunted. He has to admit that last night's party was not his most successful one. He was keeping an eye on the general's spy for some time, but he doesn't expect the boy to have the guts to jump up and murder himself after being exposed. He was even a little jealous of the Hokurikan's good fortune. That boy would have done well if he obeyed Tulane with all his heart, but those Hokurikan fools wouldn't just send him as cannon fodder. Fortunately, Murphy could now enjoy his escape a little longer, and perhaps use it as an excuse to extort those northerners. This hotel is just one of the many properties that Murphy owns. He stares at his red cup of wine with a smile on his face. Living in the room right next to his office, and with men awaiting his orders at all times, Murphy's routine has been nothing but comfortable. Not a person dares stray away against his orders. This is how things have always been, and how they should be. Except when it comes to work. Murphy sighs as the phone placed in front of him starts to ring. Since it's only connected to the landline, Murphy supposes it must be one of those bellboys from the bottom floors. It is barely lunchtime, 4 points earlier than his normal visiting hours.
Sure.
Hello?
Festival.
Mr. Tulane? Sorry to bother you. A lady named Charlotte Foucher from the 4th floor is here to see you. Tell her to stay in her room. I'm not in the mood to deal with her. There's a note of exasperation in Murphy's voice at the thought of that dreadful reception. The drug-addled prostitutes insisted that the self-important singer had done something to them at the party with the Biedrzycki. Murphy had to spare a team to scrutinize the reception, but fortunately, aside from the handful of inconsequential prostitutes, no one else has shown any signs of poisoning. For Vulture's sake, if anything happens to the Godhrkar, Thalizak will become a new battleground.
Hello.
Yes, sir, but she is on her way upstairs. Before Murphy can say a word, the bellboy hangs up on him. There's no way Murphy will agree to see anyone, much less that woman alone in his bathrobes. He throws the phone back on its stand and curses while grabbing his coat from the hanger. He swears the boy will not see another day in this building. Aw, poor bellboy. Pretty soon, Charlotte is at the door, without even knocking, and then the thin heels of her shoes are on the corduroy carpet, with no regard for decorum. Where are his bodyguards? Murphy curses in his heart, then desperately remembers their work rule. Turn a blind eye to any pretty woman who comes and goes. You set yourself up for that one, man. What the hell?
Shall I?
Good morning. If you have a problem with the hospitality at Newliston, call room service downstairs. You should not come up and interrupt my work, Miss Foucher. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Tulane, but today is the 11th of December, and the baptism festival is tomorrow. As for our contract, my attending the reception and you helping me get a chance at the show, I don't suppose you have forgotten. How could he forget?
Jak say.
Yes, a sacred day. But if you want to discuss that little promise, I'm afraid I won't be much help.
Marianne.
I thought we'd already talked this through. Yo! I wish I could. Good luck. I wish you luck in your grand escape. I have a feeling you're gonna sneak out soon. Of course we did, my dear. But you don't seem to understand that the promise went both ways. You help me, and I help you in return.
Ja klauchen?
But what have I gotten? The banquet turned into an incident all because of your help. Surely that wasn't the kind of help I was looking for. And in return, I no longer have the help you were looking for. Charlotte does not look surprised or angry. She just steps forward and looks at the godfather in front of her with her purple, fearless eyes.
Line.
I see. Then I won't be able to help you any longer either. Murphy frowns, pondering her words' meaning. This woman doesn't sound like a pathetic singer who can't do anything against gangsters. It's as if she, in turn, is showing mercy to him. But before he can reach a conclusion, Murphy watches as Charlotte opens her lips to sing. Aw, fuck. What happened next is beyond the Don's imagination. He loses all control of his right arm, like an alien, and it wraps around his neck to choke him. A suffocation of pain spreads. Even the neck bone raises a creaking sound unbearably. Under normal circumstances, there's no way anyone can successfully commit suicide by choking themselves, but Murphy instinctively knows that it isn't one of those times. He would die of a ruptured artery or a broken neck. Don't struggle.
Stierfuk.
Nothing in this office will be noticed from outside. But Murphy is no sitting duck. At this moment, he quickly withdraws his pistol from the first drawer with his left hand, and without hesitation presses the muzzle against his right arm and fires. Murphy frowns at the wound, but doesn't utter a word, nor does he budge an inch. Within a split second of thought, Murphy points the gun at Charlotte and fires. This dangerous woman must be killed. Of course, Charlotte wouldn't go down easily. She doesn't bother moving as a gust of sand and wind wrap around the bullet and blocks it from inching further. The man curses and shoots 2 more bullets, but none are able to break the barrier. Charlotte smiles and steps towards him. At this point, there's nothing much Murphy can do. He slowly backs away from the woman. the blood from his arm already soaked through the white bathrobe and is slowly forming a puddle on the wooden floor. He's dying. The dawn of the Tulane gang. A man like him is not destined to die here, in a nameless woman's hands. The situation would seem like a joke if it wasn't for cold sweat forming on his forehead and blood dripping from his arm. Suddenly, as if rammed by a car, Murphy feels intense pressure across his lungs. He drops to one knee, trying to support his body as he pants for air. Don't think you get away with this.
Shh.
Of course I will, darling.
Kurasilian.
Because they will believe that poor Murphy Tulane died of disease in his office. Man, what kind of disease would he have died from, dude? What kind of disease makes it so he shoots his arm and then has crushed lungs? What? Like, those are two physical, like, injuries. Dude. Under Shervlet's looming shadow, Murphy tries to speak, but his lungs seem to be filled with water. The liquid drizzles out of his nose and mouth. When it hits the ground, the blatant maroon tint catches his eye. Out of shock, Murphy can't help but cough up more blood. Within the blood, gritty sand escapes his mouth. Murphy can feel his life slipping through his fingers. As much as he hopes this night is part of a dream, the painful reality forbids him to do so. Within another minute or so, his vision starts to fade. In his last moments, he grabs at Shervlet's ankle, but is only pushed away again by the sand protecting her. Aw, what the fuck? Shervlet looks down at the man with distaste. She kicks him away and sits down at the dead godfather's desk, then takes a cigarette from the table and lights it. That's what they get for lying to her. After Murphy, the next targets will be those who rejected her performance, as well as Bishop Guial. None of them will escape. In her smoke, the joys of hatred and revenge fade away. The woman's bright eyes gradually lose focus, and a small, vague figure gradually forms. Charlotte's eyes narrow. She doesn't need to be as alert as before. As long as she can sing, no one can beat her. A burst of applause sounds before she realizes someone is there.
Ah, this dear.
My, what have we got here? I'm amazed at your incredible work. Should I call him Albert or Rorty? Either or, it is the legend. Oh, man. Shervlet rises and blows smoke out of the way, revealing the face of Rorty Weiston. But it is nothing like what she remembered of Weiston's daughter. For 3 months, she had been a shy girl, cowering and awkwardly gesturing to her father with her hands, only daring and forthright when Shervlet practiced singing. However, the person in front of her is different, so fierce that she is momentarily confused. Her eyes express ecstasy and satisfaction. She doesn't even bother to look down at Murphy's body, but just walks toward her.
Star.
Are they about to have a 1v1? Why are you here?
Julian?
Aww. Why can't I? You took care of the bellboy anyways. Shervlet's eyes follow the thigh-high boots. Rorty gives a sly smile, revealing her sharp little teeth. The shadow is stirring at Shervlet's feet, gathering the sands, but Rorty does not stop. She doesn't even slow down. She walks straight up to Shervlet and stands so close that she can almost smell the black currant and ambergris. What is that? What? Is that like an herb? In the presence of Rorty, all her desire for slaughter is dispelled and replaced by an odd fear of the unknown. The girl just smiles and lifts her right wrist, gently wiping the blood from Shervlet's face.
Ah, this dear.
There. You missed a spot. She then casually brings the finger to her lips and licks away the blood. Her eyes are drowning with hunger, perhaps for more death, more blood, or... All done. You're the perfect infector, just like I designed. Did you feel its power just now? Wasn't it wonderful? Indescribable by any words written in the human language, and beautifully so.
Alain?
No need for us to instill the concept of hatred. You can produce enough of your own to drive the masters of Reed Fairy. Can't you? Wait, does that mean Sherblet became like a minion? What? Want revenge on the tasteless audiences? Want revenge on the church that didn't choose you? Come, I'll grant you one last chance on the day of the baptism to lay your hate to rest. Rorty carefully takes out a small journal, kept safely in her inner pockets, and passes it to Sherblet's hands. Inside, ancient scripts show lyrics and melodies of old, the song that Sherblet has been taught to sing.
Steer, steer.
We taught you the song. This hymn to our Votru will keep his servant harvesting its sacrifices. If we continue to sing that...
Theong.
Wait, Rorty, that's not all. Sherblet takes hold of the Krista, her fingernails sliding between the two glued pages and opening it. It's a variation on the second part, and the lyrics are completely different from the first one. Rorty just shrugs and closes the pages without surprise. Yes, but you mustn't get greedy now. Just the first half is good, and the second verse is not easy. The key would change, and so would the tone, so I wouldn't suggest you going that far, darling. It can bite you back if you're not careful.
Sure.
So what?
Mozemni festir.
Don't underestimate me, Rorty, or whoever you are. Who do you think I am? There's no melody that I, Sherblet Fuisher, can't sing well.
Kurasilian.
No matter how difficult the tone is, or how long the lyrics are, I will sing for you. After all, what I want is a bigger disaster. Enough to destroy all the Melodefers. Hearing her words, Rorty drops her arm with a huge smile. She hesitates for a moment before laughing hysterically. This woman is exactly what she needs. No, she is beyond her imagination. She understands exactly what Sherblet wants and needs. All of her greed, her hatred, and her hopes. It is the same as what she's craved for 5 years. Revenge on the world that's forgotten her existence, and on the people who betrayed her time after time. Onto the grand stage that Rorty prepared comes our first and only challenger, Sherblet Fuisher. You're right, darling. This time we'll get rid of those Melodefers once and for all. Wonderful, isn't it? Even the world can be ours. A world built by the gifted, for the gifted. You and I can get rid of them all. As if harvesting a ripened fruit, Rorty stretches out her hand and embraces Sherblet. Enveloped in the scent and warmth of blood, their Votru finally offers mercy in the darkness. What the heck? Aw, Pry, you're gonna be in a whole heap of shit. Oh. He doesn't open his eyes as soon as he wakes up. A strange swelling in his jaw causes him to shut his mouth, but his teeth are held back as they close. There's something in his mouth. The excessive stimulation makes him retch. Fluid pours into his esophagus, and Pry coughs uncontrollably, dropping several white, half-dissolved pills on the floor. When the spasm in his throat finally subsides, the light coming from a distance makes his eyelids crinkle, and the young man stomps up to him.
Oi.
Ah, he's really woken up. This drug's quite useful. Wonderful what it'd do if we added liquor. Gal's gaunt face appears in his blurred vision. His face is cold and cruel as he looks down, as if what he did was not torture, but charity. The other figure behind him is almost completely covered by the darkness, and half of their body is outside Pry's field of vision. But there is no doubt that he's not a man for such an occasion. Pry squints at the delicate heels with soft plates. Between the leather shoes and the lace dress is a pair of legs wrapped in white stockings. The next moment he is kicked back, and there's a piercing pain in his stomach. He suspects that the other side had aimed at the weak angle of his ribs. I would advise you not to do that, Gal, or his brain might be broken before he can speak. The young man's voice is soft and almost merciful, as beautiful as a little singer, all while an overwhelming loathing spills out of his polite tone. Oh, fuck, Pry got captured. Fortunately for him, the executioners do not allow him to die. Now that the missing pieces are forced together, he remembers what they had done. He had another excuse. He had to find Raven.
Styria.
Let him take a good look at me, Gal. It's a rare gathering of old friends. Pry tries to lift his head, and his neck begins to ring with the raw sound of the joints. Cinders are strewn across the floor, and the incessant roar gives him an immediate confirmation of his position. He's trapped in the train. Pry's gaze moves along the darkened walls, the thick rust on the tin, the color and smell of dried blood. A stove is burning nearby. The fire's light is projected mercilessly into Pry's face, its searing hostility tingling his skin. But he doesn't bow his head. Instead, he looks directly at the boy. He knows who it is. He knows very well. That face has visited him so many times in his countless dreams over the years. The death throes of the blonde boy, with bodies and blood splattered all over the floor. The long, white, swan-like neck of the singers. The blade that sliced open their fragile necks. It feels like it all happened yesterday. Wait, that was for you, Pry? What?
Yurkalau.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Considering you were, like, trying to, I guess, sabotage the crime scene in the beginning. Look at me. Look at this face. This throat. Remember how many people you killed, murderer? You can settle the score with him later. The woman who was with him earlier ran away with another guy. We should be more concerned about our own lives right now. The young man's rough hand rests heavily on Albert's shoulder, who raises a tired expression. On the other hand, Gal is not so impolite, for Lagarde is dead, and he doesn't have to sell favors to fake ladies anymore.
Ew, prums!
Alright, Lagarde is dead, so they're running rogue at the moment. What the hell? Now, are you done playing dumb? Speak! Where the hell is that woman hiding? Why are you after us? Along with Gal's words come a maddening, searing pain. A piece of burning coal, embedded in a pair of tongs, burns through Pry's trousers and skin with ease, leaving a ring of blackened marks as the smell of burning flesh rises with the wisps of white smoke. The chair's leg rattled against the floor. Gal holds the struggling hunter down with his free hand, and the red-hot tip of the tongs have almost been embedded in Pry's flesh. Gal looks down at the slowly blooming, bubbling blood flowers and pulls off a grim smile. Even if that woman escapes back to Thalazak, it won't matter. Don't waste your time. You can't stop any of this. Gal tears the stick from where the blackened marks are mixing with the cinders, like a decaying flower in the dust. Damn. Tough guy, huh? Hey, Vorty, give me that bottle. Albert, however, ignores his demand and throws a knife to him.
Oi!
Hey. Don't mess around. We need him alive. Gal angrily raises the knife, the cold light stinging Pry's iris. He can't die yet. He has to endure it. He has to keep provoking them, and... However, the pain doesn't come. Gal holds his hair so that Albert can have a clearer look at it.
Oi!
Hey, look at this. Dried blood remains on the corner of Pry's mouth, but the cut is gone, as if the torture had yet to start. Albert turns his eyes to Pry's thigh, where the coal burn is still bloody, but the dead flesh is shrinking as the tissue stirs and slowly covers the edges of the wound, tenaciously trying to close it. That's it, huh? Ignoring Albert's unusual reaction, Gal takes a keen interest in his new findings. He turns the knife and lets the sharp edge cut open the man's arm. He waits a while before the skin heals itself at an unnatural speed, but the tip of Gal's knife slices again, this time deeper, cutting down the still open wounds and causing more blood to flow. Pry grits his teeth and glares at the sadistic young man, who clearly doesn't plan to give up his new pleasure.
Mostrias.
Speak up now, or I will try to see if you can grow new teeth or eyeballs.
Then.
Let's start with the ears. Then comes a sharp pain in his left ear. A metallic crack comes from the floor below, and the knife that cut his auricle has temporarily passed. Pry holds all the pain in his sore throat, and ignoring the steady flow of warm blood on his cheek, lowers his head to find the source of the sound. The bloody earring rolls across the rough floor, marking a thin red trail that ends up next to the young man's high heel.
Kaya.
Give it back. Albert gracefully picks it up and begins studying it in his palm. The matte object is thinner than his pinky finger, and has a deathly gray color, not of metal or jade, but more of bone. There is a name carved inside the earring, but no typical signs of engraving, as if the trinket had a life of its own and grew the name naturally. I've been thinking about what kind of devil could kill all of our Melodians in an instant. A weapon made by Melodefers, a monster no man can match.
Sharivar!
I swore that if I lived, I would one day have him kneel before me and cut him open on the stage as retribution for my family and for everything I lost. Albert glances up at Pari. The earring acted as a switch of some sort, making the healing of his wound suddenly become extremely slow, the blood gurgling like that of an ordinary person. Interested, Albert tosses the earring over to Gal. And now I see why. That's the item that gifted you with power, isn't it, Pry? Is that body the blessing of your Yishtin-Paul? He grabs Pry by the hair and forces him to show his throat.
Like.
Come, kill me. Glare at me. Curse me. Where did your arrogance go? Speak! But he fails. Pry does not respond, only staring blankly at the ceiling. This is the boy who gave him half a lifetime of nightmares. The same one that had everything taken away from him and lived in anger day and night because of one man. Pry is ashamed.
Sharivar!
Speak! The younger young man rushes to the table in 2 steps. Before Gal can stop him, Albert grabs Pry's hunting knife and stabs at his unresponsive body. Oh, fuck. Is Pry gonna die today? Oh, no. Oh, he is severely wounded. The old scar on his left shoulder is roughly reopened. Instinctively, Pry tries his best to curl up and cover the wound, but he can't because of the restraints. Blood pours out.
Nakim!
Are you crazy? Who said we should keep him alive? He's dying! You don't have to remind me. The argument seems like it will never end. Pry gasps hard. His wound stretches and contracts with each breath, pushing his ribs outward and almost piercing his lungs. His vision is almost pitch black, but the pain doesn't leave him alone. He feels it as if his body is about to fall apart along with his consciousness. Damn. Just a little more. He needs to hold on a little more, and then... Fuck. Falsified blood. What chapter was it? What chapter could have saved him? Oh, no. Serial and Pry have yet to meet, so I don't think there's any, like, correlation I can go with there. Fuck. Pry hasn't really been seen for the next couple of chapters, so I need to figure out which chapter. Dude, what happened? Why are we scared? What? Okay, so I don't think it's gonna be Gal that does it, because Gal basically didn't give two fucks. Okay, let's see. What goes on over here? I'm thinking it may have something to do with the warehouse. You know what? We're gonna escape. If only I could, Thea. I don't know what's going on. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure it's bad, because you want to be saved. Oh no. The footsteps raise his guard, but he's glued to the ground. Pry knows he shouldn't carry on with this mission, but he can't talk himself out of it with Raven only a few stairs away. Ah, shit. Is this only one ending for Pry? Oh no. He snapped back to reality by the sound of a gun being loaded. After dodging a few bullets, Pry discovers the mobster has already regained control over the situation. He stares at the front gate like a man in a trance. You son of a bitch! He will not let him leave in one piece. He knows this now. He sees more punks with guns coming at him in his peripheral vision. He needs to leave now. He breaks out of the circle and away from the leader before climbing all the way to the roof while dodging the bullets flying at him. They want your blood? Oh wait, are you getting your blood drawn? Is that why? Just... Oh, I guess you are getting your blood drawn. It's okay, it's okay. Just look at something else if you don't like them, like looking at them go in your vein. They miss and hit the metal with a clang. Think of happy thoughts, or I guess focus on this. You know, this story is kind of getting dark at the moment. Maybe not. That would probably raise your blood pressure. Good luck. That's... I'm bad at comforting people. He manages to jump to the rooftop of another building. Finally, he finds a way out. In the dim moonlight, he sees the girl has stepped out of the warehouse. She stares at him like a ghost. Okay, so I ran away without killing anybody. Does this mean anything? I ran away instead of trying to save Raven. Does this mean anything? Oh my god, it was that simple? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, what? Okay, now I have to fucking look at history because I skipped a lot of dialogue. Okay, so... You don't have to remind me. along with his consciousness. Okay. No, actually, that was the same dialogue. Never mind. Just a little more. He needs to hold on a little more, and then Albert stops arguing with Gal and turns his head to the carriage door. Yes? Yo, I am great at this game. I was able to pinpoint the exact fucking chapter I needed to go to change this outcome. Holy shit. What happened? I heard screams. Open the door, please, so I can help.
Elaine.
Well, here comes your fixer. Come on in. We do have a patient here who needs care. Gal opens the door open, and the west wind rushes in. A pair of leather shoes clatters on the cold floor and then stops several meters away.
Steer.
I'll leave you to it, Dr. Gal. I'll leave you to it, Doctor. Gal, time to visit our singer. I know, I used my brain, and it was finished. Like, that whole conundrum of trying to find the right chapter was finished in, like, less than a minute. Holy shit. I'm a pro. When I use my brain. With that, Gal and Albert leave the room together. And finally, Pry gets what he wants. In his vision blurred by blood, sweat, and tears, Raven walks towards him quietly, carrying his medical kit beneath the only light in the room, his shoes making steady, echoing footsteps. I have a feeling it's going to be cut up in a lot of parts, considering this is going to be the end chapter. Man, they're going to cram so many in here. You know what, though? I think I got every bad ending there could be in this game. Man, I suck at visual novels. Aerith knows that she should have been prepared for the worst. But the pain and stiffness in her ribs and back remind her that what happened at Illy City Station was not a nightmare, but reality. The weight of the sacrifice is finally on her back. She has no right to cry, but has to weld her heart against death again like steel. Newliston Hotel. She murmurs about where the dangerous infector singer, Morningstar, lived, which she knew from the Pearl Shell Orchestra, and now there is no time to waste. She cannot stop. Once at the hotel, one of the guards quickly approaches the manager with a forged document, and she takes the opportunity to look around the lobby. It looks orderly, although there is a tense atmosphere in the air, which should never be present in a hotel that demands the highest level of comfort. She knows all too well the atmosphere where information is blocked. The guard returns and gestures to her. Aerith leads the guards through the crowd, and they make their way to the singer's suite.
Slinch.
Count to 3. 2 burly guards stand by the door with their guns, waiting for her next order. As soon as the door is open, the guards file in. They are followed closely by Aerith, who advances slowly and cautiously through the room. The living room is empty except for a few reclining chairs. Before she can give the order to continue the search, there is a rush of gunfire from the front. When the last guard makes a room for her, Aerith finally sees what they are facing. 2 bodies are on the ground on the sides of the bedroom, covered in dried blood. The woman's body and head are full of knife wounds, and her face is unrecognizable. On the other hand, the dead man, which looks like he was dug up from a grave, is as dry as a sponge, and his skin and muscles cling together from lack of liquid. A woman is leaning on the window, looking down at her carefully manicured nails in boredom. Her eyes drift across the room and then focus on Aerith's eye. So wait, Shervlet killed these 2, went out to kill the mafia guy, and then came back? Why? Didn't you have, like, a concert to catch? What? Why are you back here, Shervlet? Aerith immediately grasps her gun. She would know that face anywhere. Predator's eyes hidden behind a gorgeous exterior.
Oh, Morien.
Greetings, lady. You kept me waiting for so long.
Scarlet.
Morningstar. Shervlet Fischer. Aerith gestures with her fingers behind her back and receives a tap on the butt as a response. Morningstar is not aware of their little trick and just runs her fingers gently over her chin, leaning back against the windowsill.
Kurasilian.
Morty asked me to go first, but I thought I needed to at least meet you here. I've been waiting for this moment. For so long. Okay, look. Both of you are main characters, so I cannot have you die this chapter. Both of you cannot murder each other, okay? You can have a bitch fight, a cat fight, or a slap fight, but you cannot murder each other, please. I want to see the story to an end.
Dear Claw.
Why do you do it? Spreading curses, killing innocent people, causing such disasters. Why? Oh dear. You Meloduffers don't understand us at all.
My Arstir.
I'm trying to understand right now, if you're willing to answer properly. Thanks. But you will always see things in your own way, and will never understand us or our singing, let alone our pain. Now you're asking us why.
Mozem Fistia.
What if you can't understand? Will these steel-made things wipe us out as undeserving metamorphers, just as you have done all along?
Vysteria Digus.
So, you spread this curse to get back at us?
Zendomia.
Hatred is just a trigger. As you said, our goal is you. After all, you don't treat us Melodians as human beings.
Kurasilian.
You Meloduffers make the rules and taboos that we Melodiers have to abide by? Why can we not exist in this world and sing our melodies? What right do you have to judge us?
Shemu Fierstar.
Your singing will only add to social unrest.
Tiputuliem.
It's your Meloduffers' social unrest. So where's our Melodiers' living space?
Line.
The future is for us Melodiers. We will build new nations, new societies, and create our own civilization on this scorched earth.
Tiri Plastu.
You're crazy. The negotiation fails. Aerith draws her pistol and aims at Shervlet. Look, guys, both of you cannot die. That is my only requirement. You guys can beat the fuck out of each other, but please do not die, because both of you are main characters, and if either one of you dies, I have to restart the story. It's so rare to have a little contact with you. Why so eager to order the expulsion? Looks like I'm right. You destroy what you cannot understand.
Vysteria Digus.
I can't let you kill any more people.
Line.
In that case, see you next time, my dear. Although it's a bit short notice. Before she finishes her words, Morningstar leaps through the window frame like a fluttering butterfly and disappears into the gloom. Yo, Batman exit, let's go. Hell yeah, I'll take it. It all happens so fast that even the quickest guard cannot grab her. Aerith heads to the window and looks down. A narrow back street is facing them, leading into the shadows like the great beast's deep gullet. And Morningstar, protected by her song, hurries down the dark alley and disappears around the corner.
Aside.
Catch her! Even near the festival, the back streets are still silent, with only some stray cats and dogs lingering near the warm pipes.
Slinch.
Search the back street. Blow the whistle in case of emergency. Be safe.
My Elino is so.
Roger. Immediately, the guards spread out in different directions. It takes them a while to get back to the back alley, but she thinks they can still catch up to her. Morningstar's just a singer, and not very good at fighting, and her heels are definitely not good for running. Aerith runs down one of the branches with her pistol in hand. The staircases in the alleyways cling to the walls like old bones, leading to the roofs of different buildings, covering the narrow alley as night. As she speeds up, her heart beats faster and faster, pounding in her chest. She rounds the corner, a flash of deep purple running into the next. Aerith's eyes light up, and she takes out the whistle and puts it to her lips. There's a gunshot. Before she can even feel the pain, blood appears at the end of her field of vision, like a blooming camellia, swirling in the west wind. The next second, they are spilling to the ground, their broken petals spattering on the violet dress. Fuck! What did I tell you about you guys killing each other? Dude, oh my... Which chapter do I fix to fix this? With a dull thud, air falls. She stares at the ground and emits a choking, gurgling sound in her throat. The blood goes down her windpipe, which makes it extremely difficult for her to breathe, but she soon stops needing to. Red spreads rapidly over her waistcoat. The shooter is not skilled enough to bring her a quick and merciful death, but death's scythe is still upon that graceful neck. It is! Let's cereal! It's you! Why? Well, at least I know which fucking chapter to pick now. Let's cereal, you're going on the fucking train. This is what you deserve. Orders, lackey. There's a thin figure in her dim line of sight. A dusty young man. Facial features somewhat handsome, but looking dispirited and fearful. His coat looks gray and worn like a wanderer's. As if trying to calm the tremors of killing, the young man takes a deep breath and swallows his fear and anger. The moment his face hits the daylight, Aerith recognizes him. You... She remembers it was on that sunny day. The young man passed over her on the stairs. No. Not only that, he has been in other parts of her memory. But the growing drowsiness has clouded her thinking, and all memory becomes indistinct. The heel tapping resounds again, this time without haste. Morningstar stops leisurely at the dank wall. Aerith gasps hard, and the conversation fills her ears like the sound of water on a vertical rocky shore. Bro, he is going down the fucking train of despair because he deserves it. What the fuck is this?
Oh, Morien.
Let's serial, just because I told these two not to kill each other doesn't mean you have to fucking kill her instead. Come on. You came as promised. What did I say? When you need me, I will be there for you. The singer smiles, and almost instinctively, Aerith feels Morningstar's gaze leave the young man and fall upon her. It is a pleased, cruel look.
Zendomia.
Yes, you came to save me. Son of a...
Vaiselak.
My sorrow. I swear to God, I have gotten all of the bad endings throughout this entire game. Like, I'm pretty sure I have... If I could have an achievement in this game, like, get all the bad endings in this game, Steam would have given me that achievement by now. I got every single bad ending this game had to offer. What the fuck? Wait, no. There's still some chance left over for me to get another bad ending, because we're not done yet. Oh, oh my god. We still got half a chapter to go. Fuck. Let's serial. You're going on the train of despair, okay? You fucking deserve it. Get out of here, dude. I don't want to see your face no more. Motherfucker. Get out of here, Let's serial. Get on the train. But he has no time to continue investigating. After all, there's nothing more important in life. As the marshals are busy carrying the sick and wounded, he sneaks into the crowd and buys a ticket to High, passing through the layers of guards without getting noticed, then boards the platform. With a long whistle from the train, it slowly starts. The noisy voice gradually subsides, and the people around him get up one after another and walk out. Latsiriel watches the familiar scenery outside the window sprinting back at an increasing speed. His fingertips dance on the armrest of the seat. He is already on the arc to the new world. Even floods can't drown him. But just at this moment, he realizes with hindsight, this cabin has nobody but himself. Wait, does Latsiriel die on this train too? Fuck. Latsiriel's shoulders and back straighten in an instant. The part in the depth of his mind that's connected to the holy city seems to be suddenly peeled off, and he can no longer feel the breath in the dream. The young man stands up, alert and wanting to escape this creepy cabin.
Still. Fick Jaisla.
Who the fuck are you and why? Ew. Don't touch me. Whatever those hands were, do not touch me. Ew. Finally left his realm. You've got nowhere to go. What? Okay. Can I get off the train of despair now? Fuck. Everyone is a main character and this is bad. An indescribable pain suddenly strikes all his nerves as if something is going to stretch him, crush him. Let's.Serial opens his mouth wide, and before he can even utter a cry, he twitches and collapses to the ground with all his limbs slack. This is no human power. A powerful coercion takes away his limbs and bones, just as he felt in the chief's office that day. Copious amounts of blood pour from his nose, and Let's.Serial lies on the ground, feeling like he has turned into a pile of minced meat. His body is completely out of control. Every joint is forced open, the bones rattle, and every drop of blood seems to have self-awareness, churning and trying to break through the thin layer of skin on the outside. Let the existence Let's.Serial be torn apart. His throat is full of bitterness, a bittersweetness. Let's.Serial keeps spitting out blood. His pupils are bloodshot, and thick blood flows down the side of his face, slashing 2 streams of bloody tears across his face. Bro, I swear to God, I'm not trying to get fucking bad endings like Pokemon, but I am just collecting all of them, bro. Bad end, I choose you. Fuck, bro. Through a blur of blood red, a pair of delicate round-toed shoes appears at the end of his vision. The crisp, melodious voice, like that of a girl, comes from above his head.
Alas, tu es Zach? Oh, feel so bien.
Like, who are you, bro? I've never seen you. I've never even seen that hair. Like, who? Why? So, you are the one who ran away from the Phosphoners? Whatever. That's not important. The master of the shoes tilts his head.
Ixalai. Godhrkar sala.
Good night, servant of Godhrkar. Fuck! Dude! If the main characters aren't killing each other, then it's some fucking random fucking death chick that comes out of nowhere and fucking murders me. What the hell? I guess this is your fucking PSA not to go on a train ever. What was that shit? Come on, bro. Okay, fine. Let me out into the main menu. Okay, there we go. Bluetooth keyboard. Okay. Which chapter was it? Which chapter was it, damn it? Who was that lady? She never even appeared in the story until that moment. Like, who the fuck was that? Why was that? That had nothing to do with anything. Okay, gotcha. Get home safely, Thea. I don't think it's this chapter that's doing it. There we go. I need to figure out which chapter it was that Shervlet and Pry met up. Not Pry, Let's.Serial met up. No, this is the day where Pry got Save. Wait, what? No, I think this is... No, so I'm pretty sure I'm in the area before. So... Was it chapter 9? I'll figure it out. Okay, so I think it's this one. And instead of having Shervlet and Let Cereal meet, I'm just going to have him slip away in disguise. The prostitutes walk slowly to the back hall, the eyes of the onlookers eventually shifting elsewhere. Let Cereal takes the opportunity to follow them. Ugh! Let Cereal almost bumps into the young man coming in through the window. He looks up and immediately recognizes the face of his friend. The red-haired young man seizes Let Cereal by the arm. Why are you... Right! Listen to me. The Godfather attended as a secret meeting in the afternoon.
Chloe?
And he's looking for me? Yanni swallowed back the second half of his sentence and nodded. There came a steady sound of footsteps from the end of the aisle. Let Cereal swore quietly. It was too late to identify the target, so he dragged Yanni to the nearest room. The lighted room was recently used, and the bedding was in disarray. The two stood by the door, waiting for the laughing men and women to pass the aisle to another vacant room.
Eh?
What are you doing here?
Kairos.
I came to save you. How come you fell into the trap so easily?
Philomzai.
Great. Now shut up, please. Let Cereal glared at Yanni, who grinned silently. They walked to the other side of the room, where the cold wind was blowing through the gaps in the window. Let Cereal looked down. They're on the 3rd floor. He saw they could leave as long as they avoided the people in the yard and climbed down the drain pipe. He grabbed the cuffs of his jacket. Alright, BRB, guys. Yeah, I do need a be right back toggle, or at least I need to figure out how to put a notepad and just write down be right back on it. But yeah, I had to take care of the baby boy for a second, so. But now he's out and about, and hopefully he doesn't destroy the house while I'm streaming, so. He grabbed the cuffs of his jacket. Yanni glanced at him, knowing his plan immediately. The longer Letzeriel was gone from the party, the more likely he was to arouse suspicion. In other words, they must get out of here as soon as possible. Yanni spit into his palms. Then he turned around and climbed out of the window, grabbing the edge and stepping onto the drain pipe.
Or test me.
I'll go first.
Texas.
Go. Watch your step. Before he could finish the sentence, Yanni had already disappeared. Letzeriel waited for 10 seconds, then stepped out and climbed down. The descent went smoothly. No one had noticed them. When Letzeriel landed, Yanni had already hidden in the shadows behind the corner, beckoning to him that it was safe ahead. The exit is mere steps away, and the patrol guards are nowhere near them. They don't notice that two sneaky young men are slipping away right under their noses. The hustle and bustle behind them grows more distant, and the dark golden gate is right in front of them. Letzeriel exhales a stale breath and turns to Yanni, who is grinning at him excitedly. The ease of escape quickens their pace. They turn around, trying to sneak into the dark alley. What happens next catches them completely by surprise. So it wasn't this chapter? A big hook-like hand slams onto Letzeriel's upper arm. The young man lets out a painful cry, turns around, and discovers several thugs in suits have surrounded them. Damn, let go of me! Yanni dodges the gangster's pounce and slams his fists back mercilessly. The punch hits the face of the man next to him, whose revolver falls and slides a few meters away. At the same time, Letzeriel strikes the gangster's crotch with his knee. The man lets out a shrill scream and loosens his grip. Letzeriel quickly picks up the gun that fell to the ground and points the muzzle towards the man. His index finger pulls the trigger. Bang! Deafening gunfire cuts through the dim light air. Letzeriel freezes, realizing the gunfire didn't come from his hands. He turns around slowly, looking in the direction where the smoke is curling up. A scarlet poppy as smooth as fine velvet blooms on Yanni's forehead. Oh, fuck! A hole stands there, the tight flesh on the outside scorched by the bullet. A strange but strong fragrance permeates the air, smelling like rust, sea breeze, coke, and musk. The clouds, pushed by the west wind, cover the moon. The red-haired boy, like an empty wheat bag, falls down in front of Letzeriel, making a long, muffled sound. Fuck! Dude, this is gonna be... I should change the stream title to Collecting Bad Endings or something like that. Bad End Pokemon. Blood slowly fills the gaps in the stone road, and a cross made of blood-colored spider web stretches out, making the eerie but sacred picture complete. Yanni. It was at this very moment Letzeriel realizes his loneliness. Being smart only made him lose this desperate bet. Completely. The muzzle is pressed against Letzeriel's forehead, but the young man feels nothing. He just stares at the body of his friend, in his eyes without tears or light. Exactly. I'm catching all the strays right now. What the fuck? This was the last scene he saw before there was another shot. What chapter do I fix for him not to fucking kill Arif? Damn it. I have a shit ton of karma. I have too much karma at this point. Alright, well, we're going to Shervlet again. Damn it. start of the game, no karma. By the end of the game, all the fucking karma. Dude. What the fuck? I'm drowning in karma. This is bad. Dude. Okay, so he and Shervlet have to meet and work together for them to progress to the next chapter. So it isn't day 9 where I need to be. It is... Can I close this, please? It's supposed to be... what, day 10? But we're in day 10. This is the chapter, I think, where I had to pick between saving the girl and not saving her. I have to save the girl to progress to the next chapter. Shervlet chapter, this is no choice. He does have a choice to go to the chapel or not. Okay, maybe it's Hysono. And instead of going to church, maybe I need to choose a different option. So instead of going to church, I'll search for the bishop. And I'm pretty sure I read this before I made the choice to then choose church, trying to save another person. So if I go to day 11 now, because my belief is, if he is going to search for the bishop, this may or may not put the rest of everybody in different positions. So let's serial stays the same, but this is an entirely different branch. Okay. So this time he's going to warn him that shit is about to go down. Highsnow pulls his frozen red hands out of the sheepskin gloves and knocks on the front door again. Amber Holland stands right behind him. He looks up expectantly at the door, which has wobbled slightly but not opened. Inside, a tired-sounding woman speaks. Please, Father Mulnathan. Dolores can't have visitors. He is terribly ill and cannot be disturbed any longer. But, Mother, this is really important. Please, listen to me. I'm sorry, good priest, but his health is more important to me. Please leave. This is very important, Mother. We have to speak with the bishop about the Holy Canon. Could you at least tell us if there was a woman from Ili at the rehearsals on the 7th but didn't make it further? You could have known the answer to that question yourself.
Huh?
You were supposed to be with Dolores at the audition. What caused your absence on that day and made you in need of Dolores now, despite his illness? That's because... A faint cough and wheezing alternately resound. A thought suddenly occurs to Hysono. Had Bishop, who had attended that audition, been cursed to illness? But they couldn't tell her the terrible truth.
He forced it to appear.
I don't mean to be rude, but I just want to ask who you think has put up... with you and allowed you to officiate as a priest at St. Godhrkar after all your absences from church meetings and services. It's...
Zimkshan.
And now, because of that case and some other unkind reports, he may have to leave the church. His only disciples are Father Kashchazai and you, and if he leaves, you will be the most likely one to succeed him. I don't doubt my husband's decision, but I must tell you, no matter how much he takes you as his own child, I will not admit that you have the right to replace him. High Snow stands heartbroken. His feet are frozen to the ground, and he can't turn away from the bitter words. He doesn't know how to explain to Mrs. Guiel that these are the secrets he has to keep, so they are not out in the open to raise suspicion and panic. There comes a violent cough from inside, growing worse and worse, and then it strikes out towards the fatal silence. High Snow's heart clenches. He can no longer bear the burden of the disease.
Gooch.
I sincerely apologize to Bishop Guiel and you for my capriciousness and recklessness. I promise to never run away from it again. But these words do not change my original intention.
More austere.
If you would like to share your answers with us, please call the Academy. It's really important. In any case, we thank you for your service. Amber has already given up and heads to the street. There is no response, only a deep sob melting in the wind. Soon there's no cough anymore. Man, Dolores straight up fucking... Wait, not Dolores. Guiel fucking died, bro! Finally, the two come to the church with heavy hearts. Based on Sayel's collection, High Snow thinks that the Vatican might have kept clues. High Snow suddenly remembers the date. Okay. Amber had no idea about that, and not being a believer, has to stay in his car and watch as High Snow hurries through the gate, wrapped in his priestly attire. Okay.
Lud! Claire?
Oi, Sventa!
Shh!
You're still letting me in, right?
More austere.
Må jag ste?
Duff.
Ah, Calvig Zanito.
Okay, good. Same dialogue as before, but I'm just clicking through to see if there's anything new, considering one of the main guys just fucking died.
Lottie.
Okay, so it's probably the same as last time. Now then, Charlotte is done. Does this change anything for Aerith? No, it didn't. Okay. Which is it? So High Snow was all set either way. Wait, this is the train chapter. If I change this, this unlocks the bad ending for Laterial, so I can't. Chapter 9. Okay, so those two have to meet. This had no choices, I believe. That had no choices, I don't think. Look, okay. Okay, where's Let's Serial? Okay, so their helper, he seeks the truth, he's in a pursuit. It doesn't even matter. Exactly. About to play Fallout, not Fallout, what's the brand name again? It's been so long since I thought of their band name. Tried so hard. So, who is it? Who do I need? Uh... So I'm pretty sure Shervlet needs to stay with the mafia boss, Tulane. Oh, you did? I guess I'll look for it in a bit. So, Shervlet needs to stay with the mafia boss for me to get to the point of chapter 11. So I can't change anything on her side there. Lagarde dies either way if that is the case. And that could have been the only thing anchoring her there. Your allies with Prai. Oh, okay, okay. Because he did show up as someone important in the later chapters. And he trades with Prai. He's allies with Easton. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm gonna see what happens if I change the chapter in which she sings, and instead of choosing to go with what's his face, I'm going to have her just stay put. Where is she? I forget if there was a choice this episode. Just bask in the singing while I try to figure out how the fuck. Oh, I can skip it. Okay, unfortunately I'm gonna skip it because I need to figure out this chapter has a choice for it. Because I need Guiel to live, I think, for him to fuck with Letzeriel.
Lo?
Okay. What if I refuse Tulane? What does this mean? Sorry, Mr. Tulane. Me and Mr. My manager and I have a contract. He won't want me to sing where I'm not supposed to. This is not for Robert, she thinks. Lagarde is the man who helped her when she needed it the most. She can't just ditch him for a better opportunity. Lagarde is powerful and almighty, just like Yichti. Maybe this is what she wants to believe, that he is the man who can solve anything. To her surprise, Murphy doesn't try to convince her anymore. He just nods thoughtfully before politely waving a goodbye. What a pity. Anyway, good luck with what you're doing. Chervlet is finally relieved when the men decide to leave them alone. She was worried about being forced to accept the invitation, and just glad that didn't happen.
Say.
One last thing, Miss Foucher. The man stopped a few feet away. I really hope you can find another way out. For your own sake. There's something ominous behind his words that she can't quite decipher. Maybe a man like Murphy has his own resource for information, but this won't drive her away from her patron. She really hopes he can find a way. What does this mean? Which option did I choose last time? I don't know. I will not give up on the investigation. I've got to meet with that journalist to exchange info. Seriously? That sounds kind of crazy to me.
Senda mia.
It'll be fine as long as I stay away from the streets. I'll get a newsboy later and make him send a message to Verena. That's not what I'm talking about. Is this a reliable resource? Damn it, why is it always you who gets to do the talking with the girls? Sorry if it hurt your feelings. Stop it, seriously. I have something she needs, and she's safe to reach out to. Probably. Yini squints at him, clearly not believing his words.
Kairos!
Fine, you can stay. I'll ask around and see if the order is up to something. Be careful out there. I'm not gonna bail you out. Yini's words left him dumbfounded. He's truly grateful to this punk, who extends a helping hand when he needs it the most. But Yini doesn't look bothered. Okay, I gotta go now. What?
Kairos.
I got some job to do at the hotel. Be back as soon as I can. No spare keys for you, so I'm afraid you'll have to do the climbing again.
Yoda!
And tidy up the room before you leave, or you'll have to sleep on the street tonight. Bye, good boy. That'll be back. After his friend leaves and locks the door behind him, Letzeriel blankly stares at the cluttered room. He drags the vest out from underneath him and throws it at the wall.
Kislava.
You bastard! What does this do? Okay. What? Why is it suddenly locked off? Okay, I guess she does have to give up Lagarde. Because otherwise it doesn't unlock the entire story, which sucks. Accept this deal. Alright, fine. I accepted the deal. Alright, and keep investigating is what I'm gonna choose. So I can't investigate? I have to... Oh my... Okay, so apparently it's not this chapter. Wait, what? Wait, is this new? I think that's new. Hold up. When Latsiriel rolls over and slips out of Yani's small room, his heart is still pounding. What does the dream mean? He has no idea and just wraps his coat tightly around him. The newsboy on the side of the road notices him and excitedly jogs his way. Sir! Sir! He smiles and puts a finger to his lips. The cold winter wind blushes his face. He looks just like a little boy who's fallen in love. Did I read this chapter before? I forget. The newsboy smiles back and covers his mouth, then pulls out the letter wrapped in a pink envelope from his pocket. Sir, I've delivered your reply.
Chloe.
Another morning paper. Clever. Thank you. Don't tell anyone. No, I won't, sir. Good luck. That's a pretty girl. The boy stuffs the coin into his pocket, and before he runs away, he flashes Latsiriel a vulgar gesture as a congratulations. Latsiriel maintains a stiff smile, then turns into the alley without looking back. This lie asked for more of a performance than when he faced Sandra. Latsiriel rolled his eyes. But he has no choice. After all, he made a big fuss at the Verathesis order, and would be reckless to show up on the street. Although Yeni promised him that they didn't call the police, it's always better to be cautious. Under the circumstances, newsboys are the most suitable people to pass on information, especially when involving lovers not allowed in the family. The sense of mission and excitement encouraged him to run faster more than anything else. To match this fictitious love story, or to mock the vulgarity of lies, Verena deliberately folded the reply into a heart shape. Latsiriel quickly tears open the love letter. My dear Let's, of course I remember your promise. As sweet as honey. I have some good news. Let's meet at Thalasak Cemetery at 10:30. It's the last place in the world my parents would disturb us. Also, you can always think of ideas that surprise me. Love you, Verena Wyatt. It took Latsiriel a long time to calm down. Thinking of Verena's beautiful face and the evil soul hidden in that tiny and soft body, it's a girlfriend he would never be able to get used to. But Latsiriel started all this, so the least he could do was carefully keep it going. Where the fuck did that come from? What? What? Stop. Oh. Okay. Mumbling about the time and the place, he headed towards Salazak Cemetery. So I clicked on a link that was covered. Okay. That's where it came from. Latsiriel had never been so close to the realm of West Irie. Based on the knowledge he gained from Thistuvesh, the religions are tricking people into paying tribute to imaginary gods in exchange for nothing. A few crows jump around the eaves of the hall. Latsiriel sneezes, and when he almost wonders if Verena's playing with him, the little reporter finally arrives. Latsiriel?
Clear?
How are you? What happened? Follow me. Verena rarely evaded Latsiriel's questions, but she walked quickly past the boy. Latsiriel silently followed the reporter into the cemetery with butterflies in his stomach. So, What about you? What did you get from visiting Syelt? What information did she get? The serial still maintains the lie from when he first met Verena. That was his poker face. Never mind. Not as good as I expected. The serial complained with an air of lightness.
Found bullseye.
Do you know how many people went to the lecture yesterday? I had no chance to see Syelt at all. The scholars who wanted to ask questions were so crazy that they almost drowned the old guy.
Sigh.
You are so unlucky. Things never go well.
Moya Stela.
I'll try again later, but I'm not sure I can make it to today's lecture. Save your energy. I heard that Syelt is sick. Today's lecture is being given by Professor Holland. Alright, that was awful. How about you? Verena opens her mouth but says nothing. She just turns around and steps forward. Rena's words claimed that she still knew nothing from yesterday, but her physical reaction was suspicious, as if she smelt the scent of blood on him. She's a smart reporter. Once something arouses her interest, the truth won't be far away. He must get what he wants from her. I investigated the death list from the fire, and also the Kieran family from your letter yesterday. The dark-haired girl stops. Her voice is blown to pieces by the freezing wind, but every word is as sharp as a blade to Letzeriel. As you mentioned, their names are on the victim list from April 1529. Gamaliel Kieran, Yvette Kieran, and their eldest son. Eldest son? Letzeriel tries to recover while Verena stands by his side, looking at him with a cautious, scrutinizing look. Before them is a family cemetery. An engraved metal nameplate is beside the door, and under the solemn uncruscule there are 3 names. Kieran family, Gamaliel, Yvette, Letzeriel.
There.
Yo, I'm dead? What? Yes, the dead child of Kieran was Letzeriel Kieran. Verena whispers softly, staring at Letzeriel. However, the mood shifts, no longer curious but cold and alert, like staring at a ghost come back to life.
Godhrkar.
Then, why are you still here?
Shall I?
Okay. What is different about this? No, this is the same thing. Nothing changed.
Moya Stela.
Milo deves hesino. Z.
Alive. Sandra.
Oh, okay, this is new. Okay. Okay. He drags his feet to the entrance of the manor, where several maids are waiting for him. Welcome back, Mr. Highsnow. Mr. Verimel planned to stay with us for a while, and Mr. Sandra has accommodated him in the guest room as usual. Fine. Is she home? Yes, she is with the madam. Thanks. Sandra's closing the door to her father's room when they meet up. She glides over to greet her brother with a towel in her hand. How's he, Sandra?
Sure.
Jill spoke up. Mother is in there with them.
Gesserit?
Since morning. Yes. She won't listen to me. Told me it's the least she can do. Her eyes are covered by her brother's warm hands.
Moya line.
Everything will be fine. Don't you worry. I'll take care of it. Father is going to be...
Sure.
I hope so. He hesitates before asking his sister about that familiar figure, trying to make it sound like normal small talk he would have with her.
Sigh.
So I was thinking about the, gentleman I last saw with you.
Strictly.
No, I won't just leave Dad, if that's what you're asking.
Fyong.
That's not what I meant. When was the last time you saw him? His sister was blushing before he could finish the sentence. She scans his face for a long time, trying to figure out what her brother is getting at.
So,
December 5th at the academy was the last time I saw him. I swear. What is it, Knell? How come you're so interested in him all of a sudden?
Moya line.
Nothing. I was just curious. He tries to look somewhere else. Sandra panics when she lies. What is she hiding? The possible answer makes the young priest's heart sink. Maybe he shouldn't ask any more questions. She'll go mad if she finds out this sweetheart of hers hurt their father. He pushes open the door before approaching his stepmother as quietly as he can. After he sits down beside her, the room is wrapped in complete silence.
Haiseno.
You're back, Haiseno.
Chlorothadim sphere?
You should get some rest,
Ki
Agathenia.
a momore.
I'm alright, darling. You don't need to worry about me. I just need to stay with him.
Morpheus star.
You've never seen him like this, have you? Lying in bed, all weak and fragile. A sigh escaped her smiling lips. He never shows us this side of him. She turns around with teary eyes.
Jotek serit?
You really need to rest, Agathenia, or you'll exhaust yourself. Sandra needs you. The two sit in unbearably long silence. His stepmother's eyes have lost their former glamour, leaving only emptiness. Fine, but you must tell me when he wakes up. Please do take care of yourself, Haiseno. I can't bear if anything were to happen to you, too.
Kirksi.
I will, Agathenia. I will. I promise. It pains him to see her like this. She has absolutely nothing to do with the incident, but she is also a victim whose heart of gold was shattered into pieces. The slim silhouette of this poor woman is about to fade into the darkness, just like her soul. He approaches his father before taking a seat where his stepmother had perched. The priest had never studied his father from so close. The stubborn image of his father irons its mark deep inside his mind, impossible to be erased. The man lying on the bed is nothing like the father he knew. Time has its way of softening people, making him look like any other elderly person he'd see on the streets. Wait, isn't this the chapter where he realizes that he has more responsibilities and that his father was protecting him the entire time? I think it was. I think I read this chapter.
sure.
Oh, this is different! What the fuck? Wait. He's aging, weakened even. Something has drained him of his energy, but was passed down to his descendants. Haiseno notices a commotion at the entrance. The young priest stands there for a while after spotting Snar dragging a girl with him. I'm not a thief! Let go of me!
Zastion.
Wait, hold up. The petite girl who is gripped by the collar is yelling while trying to wiggle out of his grasp. Her captor, however, manages to dodge each attack. Sorry about this, Master. I happened to spot this young lady sniffing around. She's not your guest, I suppose? No, I'm not! Let go of me!
Vad is du?
So says the lady.
Svea bekirklige.
What should we do now, Master? The assassination attempt against his father happened yesterday, and today they catch this stranger wandering around. She looks stubborn and unfamiliar. Someone they should keep an eye on.
Orcusilian.
If you could be so kind as to enlighten me on what you're doing on private property, miss. His words earn an angry glare from the girl, who just purses her lips and shakes her head. I'm not a thief!
Chlorothadim sphere.
Who are you exactly?
Svea bekirklige.
Should we inform the police, Master? The thief is intimidated by the word police and gradually stops struggling. He has no intention of handing her over to the authorities. She may look suspicious, but certainly not like a punk. Still, the priest doesn't know whether or not she had anything to do with the attack. He decides to do as Rodriguez said and keep a low profile since it involves the order. He isn't sure if the police or the press have already heard something. The press.
Good.
Please forgive us. This is not how we should treat a guest. You can search all you want, but you won't find anything. The priest opens her bag while the butler restrains the girl and finds a little notebook hidden inside a magazine.
Sure.
Hey, that's mine! He skims through the notebook while turning a deaf ear to the girl's shouts. In the journal are notes about the investigation and assumptions regarding Turna case. Some things he'd read in the news, and some he hadn't. The familiar style reminds him of that infamous journal.
Moria Steer.
You're working for the Truth Seeker, aren't you? This must be his notebook. All this nonsense.
Huh?
Nonsense? How dare you say something like that about my pure masterpiece?
Tiklotrun.
Yours? You're looking at the one and only Truth Seeker, Father. I only write about my own investigations while you're too busy despising other people's hard work. He has to admit that this is a woman of insight and action. The notebook in his hand is the very evidence of her painstaking effort. He'd be glad to write a recommendation to any newspaper she claimed to have taken her for granted, if she has even the slightest conscience. But her column is definitely driving all of them to the wall. Turna, the church, even the order will take a blow now.
Moria Star, Moria Line.
If you're who you say, the mastermind behind all this,
Vistar!
then you profit from slandering my father, calling him a corrupted oligarch. He was attacked and is now dying in his bed, and it's all because of you.
Tiklotrun?
Happy now, you murderer? You almost killed an innocent man with your pen. Her jaw drops to the floor in disbelief. Okay, hold up. One more moment. Alright, I am back again. Sorry for the constant interruptions. Even the Truth Seeker looks away from the horrible truth.
Sure.
But I don't think he's all that innocent. This wouldn't have happened if he wasn't guilty. Like what happened back in 1529. How did those two get murdered? What are you trying to hide? I saw what really happened. The kids. They were orphaned, made homeless. They're never going to see their parents again. She managed to break out of Snar's grip while the two were still registering her words. The journalist snatches her notebook and shoves it into her bag before fleeing the scene. Okay. Is this good or bad? I don't know. Okay. What does this mean? What does this mean? What changed? Hopefully for the better. Okay. Alright, so there's people after him. Okay, hold up.
Svea,
Okay, shit is going down with Cereal at the moment. What the heck? I swear to Votru, it is Mr. Mulnathan who attacked first. He did!
Huh?
Swear? You're not even a believer. Cereal steps forward, Stephanie his head against her cold, snake-like eyes, and braces the closing door frame. He wants to defend himself. Why not? He openly sought the order, and when he questioned them about his parents, they tried to detain him violently. It's their fault. But when he remembers the light's ash, he has no words to explain it. He has told so many lies that his tongue is suddenly knotted as the truth rolls between his lips. I knew it. The truth is as I saw. It is the old man in the hospital bed, not you. Admit you tried to kill him. He has no power over rebuttal, but allows the girl to question him coldly until she throws the stack of documents in his face. Take what you want and don't come back. She shuts her door and clangs down the lock while the papers flutter. Cereal's frozen in place. For now, Verina's trust is no longer redeemable. He rubs his aching nose and bends down to pick up the files. He is like a wandering ghost, with his heart aching so much that he can no longer feel it. It isn't until the voices of the crowd on the main road fills his ears that he awakens. Like a ghost afraid of the sun, he ducks into the side alley. However, in the decadent silence, he hears another sound beyond his own footsteps. There's a scuffling, like a mouse closing in on the butter at the table. It's his pursuers. He quietly retracts his steps and turns right, followed by a left, a right. Okay, I've chased hundreds of times. I know it's up again, no matter who it is. A dog's body lies in the side trash. Okay, yeah, I read this. And then he disappears.
Myla!
And then this is Sandra.
Semni.
Drive Sandra away. That's a choice we want. And then we skip. Skip. Why can't I skip? What the hell? Okay. And that saves Sandra. And then this is Servlet. Who is going through her killing streak. And then after that, there's nothing else, which we are glad to see. Okay, and now we're back to day 11. What does this change? Hopefully this changed something. Alright, I understand, Easton. We're going through things. Okay. So, we can't board the train of doom. We have to follow the woman. And then he is talking to Mr. Guiel, realizes he's dead. And then she's off to murder the mafia boss. Alright, and since those two never met, from my assumptions, I'm pretty sure they never fucking met. If I go to this chapter, she should survive. All of a sudden, a strange feeling seizes her. The instinct drives her to shout evasive commands as she ducks into the corner. As she falls back, a sharp blade cuts her shoulder and she crashes into the dirty wall. The blade on the ground is covered with blood, long strings attached to a chain at its end, stretching into the darkness. It's you. Oops. Ah, finally. Okay, I think she can take on Gal, can't she? A few figures emerge slowly from the alley where the guards have just left, led by a lanky young man. She recognizes him at once. Gal Warnock, whose profile and photograph she had personally sealed in an envelope and mailed to Tulane. There are sounds of loading guns and the guards are ready to fight. There are about as many of them as the others. Not bad. Looks like I won't be bored. As a gift, I brought you something nice, too. A scarlet trinket is thrown to the ground. It lands in the dust and rolls to Arif's feet. Pry's earring.
Hawk?
So, that's your Jarl, Sarl? Weak. Too weak. I thought he was going to bring a lot of fun since he's the one Our Lady hates most.
Mostrias.
But now it's me, Gal Warnock, who will show you my mercy. Run as fast as you can, miss. I'll give you 1 minute. There was no answer. Gal is trying to provoke her, and he succeeds. Pry's situation makes her distraught and angry. But she would never lose her head and blindly let the guards charge and fall into Gal's trap. She moves her left hand quietly behind, but before she can make a gesture, the sound from the roof of a nearby low building catches everyone's eyes. Who's there? They turn their heads at the same time. A gaunt figure shrinks back in panic, and Gal, with a quick movement of his weapon, throws it and forces out the stealthy eavesdropper. Oh, cereal, okay. Here it comes. Useless Sarl, weak woman, and now a little bastard. You can't even do a good job of lurking. Don't come rushing one by one to die.
Huh?
Huh? Wait, I just... Piss off. The thin young man lets out a shrill guffaw. With a twist of his hand, the chain knife rises up again and strikes them both. Arif puts her hand on Letzeriel's shoulder and flings him to the ground. The blade almost flies into their heads. As soon as she shouts out the command, a volley of gunfire explodes and fills the narrow alley. See? What did I tell you?
Side.
Don't stay there. Don't stay here. Arif grabs Letzeriel by his back collar and gives him a rough push in the rear. Letzeriel looks like he has something to say, but a stray bullet sails past his ear and makes a small, smoky crater in the wall. Staring at Gal's face, Arif grits her teeth. They must beat them off before the police notice. The fighting sweeps through the whole alley. Ah, finally, everyone survived. Okay, we got Easton and we got Raven. Alright, what's going on with Raven? Raven rarely shows his sensitivity. He would munch on the humble meals at the Hunter's Lodge, never complaining about Drummond's poor cooking. The pungent smell of the lab formalin has become a regular part of his life, as well as the indelible stain on Pariah's collar, somewhere between a light red and brown, which he always pretends not to see. For the first time, the scream shatters his shell. Raven presses his face to the carriage door, which feels as cold as ice, and the shock of every step and struggle is faithfully transmitted to his eardrums. The patient does not cry out, but his chest is like an old broken bellows, filling in every hard breath. He deserves it, Raven tells himself. He does not know how many lives died in Pry's hands, but those lost before Raven's eyes are enough to drown the man in the purgatory of his own blood. His sin is so heavy that the pain he inflicts on Raven is almost nothing compared to what the victim's family suffered. Nothing. Wait, why is Raven coughing? Raven can only cough to get more oxygen to dilute the smell of blood in his lungs. Are you crazy? Who said we should keep him alive? He's dying! He's dying. For a moment, the joy of revenge flows away like a flood instead of his fear. He has to save him. Raven knocks steadily at the car door. All that is left is the deeply buried heart. Yes?
Moyer steer.
What happened? I heard screams. Open the door, please, so I can help. Well, here comes your fixer. Come on in. We do have a patient here who needs care. Gal opens the rusty door to a warmer breath, tinged with more blood that almost suffocates him, which is more unbearable than the howling wind. The light inside the car is dim. Raven has to adapt his focus before he finds Parai, who is tied to a chair just behind Rorty.
Steer, steer.
I'll leave it to you, Doctor. And Gal, time to visit our singer. The Avengers pass him by and close the door. As if in response to Raven's heavy step, Parai raises his head like a confessor offering his sinful body. Raven's heart gives a sudden jerk. He feels a surge of anger. He knows better than anyone what Parai was up to. Parai doesn't care about the wounds. He doesn't even care that it's his life. He hurts himself so easily just to create a chance to speak with Raven. And Raven is ridiculously hardworking, studying surgery so he could help him. His efforts would be proven futile. A desperate thought comes to Raven's mind. He might be able to treat Parai, but it will never cure him. How can he fix a machine that keeps trying to break itself? The prisoner's condition is so bad that he looks out of focus in Raven's eyes. Raven reaches out and rolls his eyelids up, only to get a classic conditioning of muscle contraction. Raven's first judgment is that he's close to shock. Most of the cuts are not deep, and many are close to healing. There's blood all over his upper body, though. The hunting knife is thrust under the man's left shoulder, and Raven frowns at the terrifying puncture wounds and hissing sound of his breathing. A sign of pneumothorax. What the hell is that? Raven. Don't move. Don't talk. He interrupts Parai's whisper, who produces a short snort from his nose. Raven is quick about his work. The awkward medical student in the morgue has gained more experience. His moves are smooth and skillful in cleaning a wound and separating the flesh from the body. No. Listen.
Urkicilian.
Don't. For a moment, a strange sense stirs in Raven's mind. Parai bows his head like he was in a confessional and remains silent as Raven draws the knife out, putting his life into Raven's hands without reservation. He still trusts him without reservation. When Raven stitches the cut to the old scar on the shoulder, most of the wound stops bleeding. Raven chews off the thread and throws the last wet gauze into the basin.
Good.
Where are we now? It's beyond Raven's imagination. He doesn't expect him to be awake, much less ready to talk. An unknown fire is kindled again in his heart. Stop. Your wound. This is important.
Urkicilian.
Stop talking. Raven grits his teeth, but Parai only shakes his head slowly, which makes him even angrier. Easy. It hurts. Raven ignores him and angrily flings the bloody cotton onto a nearby table. Why are you doing this? The standoff lasts about half a minute, and it is Raven who gives up. He is almost furious, but when his hands touch the burnt flesh on Parai's thigh, they are still of moderate strength. Cutting through dead tissue with a razor blade is different from slicing through flesh.
Slish.
Maybe next time I will tell you. Now you must listen. You must leave. Raven's motion stops his words. Parai? Parai flicks his head up. He'd never heard Raven's voice like that. Raven places the blade on a tray, then turns to face him.
Team align.
You have never once succeeded in deceiving me.
Falumzai.
I don't... The interrogator stares at the center. Make up your mind. Parai opens his mouth and gives Raven a blank look. Next time? You think I will say okay and just wait? After you killed them in front of me in that warehouse?
Moya Viok.
That's not what you should know, right? Is that how you keep lying to me and then keep killing? What am I to you? A puppet for you to squander your misplaced compassion and redeem a little conscience? What the... For a moment, the man in the chair glares at him, but then he looks down again to avoid Raven's face.
You didn't need the clout.
What have they told you?
Kark say.
They've said something to you, right? Raven turns a deaf ear to his questions. He pursues his subject's evasive gaze and pleads in his most earnest tones.
Urkisilian.
Just tell me what happened. Why you had to kill all those people. Coco is dead, and Mr. Weiston is gone. So tell me, if you have any reason...
Fee.
You don't understand. No. You should know this. Those people,
Kapastir.
I should have killed him long ago. The last flame is extinguished. The lone wolf gives up covering his cold eyes, and Raven can't find a way to save him any more than he could tame a beast that won't give up its thirst for blood. He missed his opportunity because of his cowardice. He could have started earlier to bring back Pry in his youth. On a warm winter night at the Hunter's Lodge, when he smelled the blood on the fabric fibers. Life would not go back to the way it was meant to be. It's too late, when no amount of dexterity or skill could save him. The smell of blood courses through his nose, and the dream comes back. The one where he's the raven who could not be tamed, lean and unkempt, with Pry's clean cephanoid in his mouth. He's flying for freedom on the moors under the moon. He is going to run away with Pry, away from the smell of blood and formalin, as far away as possible. The pain makes Pry look down again, unable to watch Raven's sullen, almost angry gaze. His fingertips are soft and cold, and smell of medical alcohol. Raven sighs, and his short bangs cast a dark shadow over those amber eyes. Borne in a smoky carriage, the young Raven opens his moonlit eyes, licking the blood on his beak, determined to rip out the well-muscled ridge and dig out that bone. Raven, do not kill Pry! He will heal him, soothe him, tame him, and will take all that is deep in him after he has revealed his desire. To save the sin, he set foot in hell. Does that mean you're gonna kill him or save him? Raven? Raven, think about it. Think about it, Raven. I don't know what you're doing, but don't do anything funny. Prison escapes are almost routine for Zamoya, a battle-hardened man of the majority. It wasn't difficult in Nilly City. You only needed some money and connections, tools and skills, and maybe a little bit of luck. Of course, it would be even better to have a reliable cellmate. But what he didn't expect was the one who stayed in the same prison van with him. This time would be a policeman. They were thrown into the van like 2 sacks of potatoes. Easton was not nervous. He even closed his eyes to rest. What the hell do you want, Easton Easer? If you're trying to catch me to redeem yourself, you'd be wrong. Just give me a few minutes and I can get... Shh. Don't look for trouble. Zamoya stayed quiet for a while. You mean that there are more comrades in prison to be liberated? I see. Maybe this is a chance. Please, I beg of you, don't look for trouble. This time he stayed quiet for more than a while. Then talk about your plan. You said that the gendarmerie could help us. If we're just going to stand idly by, relying on imprisonment to save our lives while the criminals swagger into Thalazak, then they'd be really helpful. Wait. Easton leaned against the cold iron wall and looked through the gap in the front window. The military policeman in the driver's seat was still on guard. Listen, don't say anything for a while. And especially don't preach your theory about majority. Leave it all to me. Zamoya almost looked out, and before being threatened by the baton, he retreated and made a face at Easton. As revealed by the gendarmerie, the prison van drove all the way to the security area. This was Easton's first time here, but he was fully confident that the road would not lead to the prison. Instead, it would lead all the way to the gendarmerie captain's office, at the end of the tiled floor. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Sergius Samoleti, his former colleague, sits in the office. Good. Sergius taps the wooden table with his fingers. He looks uninterested in the majority. The sharp sight from under his hat brim rests on Easton as if to burn a hole through him. Do you know what you've done? You left your wife and children at the scene and sent yourself to the Thalazak prison. Sergius slammed his pen on the table, pushed away the chair, and stood up behind the desk.
Steer.
First suspended, and now fooling around with the majority. Did the air of Skia make you too relaxed? I said earlier that one shouldn't stay in Illy City because if one doesn't leave there, sooner or later he'll join those scumbags. Look at you. Where's the guy I used to know who took his duty as his life?
Sean.
Belially and the others never took that as a good thing.
Chloe.
What? Easton swallowed the second half of his words. He is in no position to refute Sergius for keeping his wife in Illy City. They are all the same, ultimately sacrificing their own families using higher justice as excuses. He stood up straight as if to shake off the accusations piled on him. But in the end, he could only carry them, looking straight at Sergius. The former police detective let out a sigh, and he tried to calm the atmosphere by confessing first. Fortunately, at least one of us is doing well. Long time no see, Sergius. It's because of you that I came to see you in this way. Sergius stared at Easton for a long time.
Proms.
Do you know what the situation is now? Majority-related cases don't even get a chance to reach the court. Usually I get a notice, and they are left in the jail to sink or swim. Every agent in the army knows that the majority doesn't need a legal judgment. Apart from cutting a few months off your sentence, there's nothing I can do. Think about how you're going to tell Belialia. For now, I've got no energy to think about that. Sergius Samaletti, this is a life and death matter. I beg you, as long as you accede to my request, you can imprison me for as long as you wish. Sergius looks at Easton as if he had suddenly performed a handstand on the spot.
Hello.
You beg? That's not what a detective should say. It's not what the Easternese I used to know would say.
Feel.
To this day, I'm still willing to call you a friend. But no is no. Especially if it has something to do with the majority. I'm sure you know better than me how important duty is to us. At least, you once knew it.
Gush.
Sergius. Easton knew he should continue. The previous friendship made the past that kept them apart deeper and wider. Except for time, nothing could bridge them. Do you remember how you got to be captain? You gave up on vindicating Albert Luhrmann, so you could pick yourself up clean and use the Medal of Merit you got by murdering to climb to this position.
Salerno.
So don't talk about that duty to me. You don't deserve to say that word at all. Easton.
Oi.
Hey, you two. The majority had to break the prohibition on his talking to stop them from fighting without dignity. You try saying that again and you'll regret it. It's the same no matter how many times I say it. You ran away, Sergius. Ran far, far away. The case of the Luhrmann Orchestra had some really serious shit in it that scared you away, didn't it? Before we could catch the murderer.
Proms.
Bullshit. It was you who insisted on investigating that case, leaving the remnants of Godhrkar to the south. Your understanding of duty is merely the size of a peanut. You can't figure out what to do and what not to do at the right time. So are you going to consult Tavale like this? Tell him, I'm sorry that we left the truth he wanted behind and only cared about living well?
Gush.
Tavale wasn't even in one piece when he was found. He couldn't support himself, but he gripped my sleeve desperately. Do you know that kind of power? Gripping desperately? He didn't let go even after he died. No, Easton. The youngest boy on my team, a young man that smiled like Skia's sunshine, just died in front of my eyes. He struggled for a long time to talk to me. He said, "Captain, don't give up," then closed his eyes. The Luhrmann case was the first big case he met. I swore that I'd find the truth to comfort his soul.
Hello.
So you blamed everything on me? Because you failed to finish the private investigation, you're going to blame his death on me? Pushing all the wishes of thousands of soldiers who died to battle to me and telling me it's my responsibility? I'm not blaming you, Sergius.
Proms.
Yes, you are, Easton. Yes, you are. Damn, I've never thought that you would say something like this. Such a childish accusation. Do you not know that you need to be responsible for the words you say? Are you clear about what a serious charge you're accusing me of?
Steer.
Yes, I ran away. In your perspective, as a policeman, I only know that I followed the commands given to me. You were once more obedient than me. Do you remember what they called you? Enough, Sergius. I'm just asking if you were given another chance, wouldn't you want to comfort Tavale's spirit?
Zidomia.
Sure I do. But he's dead, and the documents are sealed. We can do nothing to...
Godhrkar.
If I tell you there's a chance to reinitiate the Lerman Orchestra case, will you help us?
Karvik
If I tell you that I have the truth, and now there's a chance for us to get the true criminal, resolve all the unsolved mysteries from then to today, and clear up the debt for us, for Devale, and for every person that suffered this, will you quit again? From the point that Easton mentioned the name Lerman Orchestra, Sergius remained silent. Easton knows he took the right course. A past composed of regret and death is constraining this man, who eagerly sought a chance to release himself in this hard-earned peace. You've got a clue? It's a long story, but Albert is still alive and is planning a revenge attack at the baptism festival. If they succeed, the consequences would be unthinkable. They've recently been acting around Thalazak. You should have noticed that too, right? Sergius doesn't respond immediately. He had heard the rumors in the church, but how would that have anything to do with the Lerman Orchestra? How could he forget Lerman Orchestra? We found their base of operations on a train. This is our last chance, Sergius. Catch them. There's still a chance to save the city, to comfort the soul of Devale. Sergius tutted. The air squeezed out of his teeth, making a grating sound.
Too close, sons.
Tourists from around the world are flooding into Thalazak. We can't randomly stop trains without reason, even as the gendarme captain.
Twilight.
Don't worry. We have a good reason, but right here. He patted Samoya's shoulder. The ignored majority member finally understood. He grinned. Okay. We're almost making it to the end. Evedlore West Line. Completely stopped running. Stopover? None. Welcha Station? Completely stopped running. Stopover? 2 cargo wagons. Cooperated with the investigation. No majority members. Heading to Sayelyada along the northern line. Claimeron Station. Cargo wagons passed. Didn't cooperate with the investigation. Came from Catamore along the eastern line. Aerith doesn't turn her head, diving into the telegrams again instead. Thanks to the just-in-time arrival of the police, Gal Warnock doesn't get any advantage in the ambush. Neither did Aerith. Their short encounter ended with both sides retreating. Finally, she met up with Easton and came to the office of Sergius. Beside her is a sturdy wooden desk. The map of the Thalazak railway system sits upon it like a blanket. Chunks of dark marks covered the northern and western cities. No trains went to the northwest. While they were spreading the news that the majority had infiltrated the city, Zamoya also went into action to confirm the claim. It was only now that Aerith understands the reason why this man was in the top 3 of the most wanted list. His appeal was terribly high among the majority. In just one afternoon, they actually launched a decent railway strike. At the same time, the gendarme had dispersed to different sites, justifiably stopping vehicles in the name of arresting the majority. They can directly hear the trains that don't cooperate directly through telegrams. After verifying over and over again, the one final answer will be unlocked. This is it. They passed Claymore half an hour ago. Easton put a red stamp on Claymore Station. On the devastated map, a red line connected by 2 dots gradually emerges. I guess this is it. Shit. How'd they pass the checkpoints?
Zidomia.
But at least we can make sure they're on the eastern line. Look, there's hardly any fork after Claymoran. Their destination must be on this track. His fingers traced one red dot after another along the line.
Steer.
The next stop in Claymoran is Salborn, which is the only route to St. Godhrkar. Only after that, there is a fork in the road. They have to either leave the city directly from the east or change tracks across the river to the south. So, they will definitely pass the station platform of St. Godhrkar. She looked up at the clock, and the time made her frown.
Claudia Citro?
If they don't stop at St. Godhrkar, We can only stop them somewhere at the river's coast. Captain Samoglieti, can the gendarmes help? We still have 2 detachments to move. Arif pinches her lips, and Sergius understands what she doesn't say. With only 2 detachments, it will be impossible to catch up with a moving train.
Clear?
Is the train we took still here? We have to borrow it to catch up with them. Arif nods and hastily writes the plan down. When she lifts her head, her sight lands on Grand Pian Station. After that stop, the train suddenly changed tracks and headed north. Casely, the church. They went to Lindbergh. For what? They didn't go directly to the east. They have some unknown reason for every stopover. Arif hits the table. The scar on her forehead cracks open again, and the warm blood is like sweat condensed from fear. Splat! The word St. Godhrkar turns red. Grand Pian Theater, the church, St. Godhrkar, all the pearls are collected. She finally realizes that everything is so clear, so obvious, as if the one behind the plot is making the most ruthless mockery of them. Every station the train stopped at is around the stage of baptism festival. The solidified silence in the room is broken by the ringing of the telephone. Sergius walks to the table, but Easton is quicker.
Done?
The gendarmes? Wooden, how did you know? Yes, I have heard about that. Why are you testing those things? Get to the point, quick. Arif stares at Easton. Fear suddenly emerges on his face, and then it twists into an unbelievable shape.
Myla!
Wait, what are you talking about? Those are... She made eye contact with Sergius. Both faces are as grim as hell.
Claw?
You sure? Shocked, Easton's brows are twisted like a knot. It's like every clue suddenly jumping out and declaring the truth is enough to turn this unbreakable man into such a terrible mess.
Oh.
Understood. Easton smashes the phone back onto its base.
Shang...
Those instruments are...
Slish.
They found the birthmark of one of the missing people on an abandoned drum. Making instruments? With human bodies?
Shka.
I'm afraid that's what happened in the leather store's basement. Shit. I knew they must have damaged those corpses like that for some reason, but I didn't expect this. Arif lowers her head and sees sweat droplets on the clenched fist of the police officer. Arif is the same, maybe even worse, because she knows the reason. There are human sacrifices. The survivors of Lerman might have known this fact. After his voice was gone, they made musical instruments with the flesh of human sacrifice, thus catalyzing their curse to the extreme. This is why they can spread such a terrible curse with only one singer. But if so, their sacrifices must be very healthy. Malnourished workers can't...
Shangfo.
No, it's different. On the dock of Illy City... Arif jumps, realizing the answer almost at the same time as Eastman speaks. This is why the Buckers showed great mercy. Lagarde Weiston funded free dinner and breakfast for the fishermen at the dock, so they can become stronger and provide higher quality skin and flesh. In their eyes, the fishermen are like livestock, raised and then at the season they matured, slaughtered. I'm afraid this is why they stopped at each stage. There are more instruments on that train, and they will be dispersed to the performers at the festival by tonight. They're going to use these instruments at Baptism Festival.
Skylet.
If they succeed, even if they only played at one place, the effects of this curse will spread to the whole of Thalzak through the resonance of the instruments. No, the whole of Promland.
Pram.
Damn it! Those bastards! Easton slams his fist hard on the table. The anger in his eyes is practically burning down the entire room. Arif takes a deep breath, the cool air slightly calming her heart.
Slinch.
Detective Easterneser, Captain Samoglieti, please take care of the stopping train. I have to leave now.
Claw?
Where are you going?
Where steer?
St. Godhrkar. I have to stop them before the train arrives.
Claw.
Tell me one more thing. After we stop that damn train, what should we use to suppress them? Since they can, can regular firearms take them down? They may be good at singing, but they are human, just like us. But you're right. Go find a Professor Amber Hollander at Verithesis Order. You can requisition him. A professor?
Fee.
Not only a professor.
Lee.
He's also a... He will help you. Easton moves his lips silently. Amber Hollander. He would make sure to remember that name. A key glides over and falls into Arif's open hands. Sergius's face doesn't change. He just nods to her in silence.
Steer.
A key for the downstairs. Pick one you like.
Artiblotti.
Thank you. Ooh, it's snowing. The cold snow drifts down silently from the sky, falling on her fluttering hair, and is carried away by the biting wind. Arif holds the keys tightly. Thankful to have her leather boots on, she hurries to the stable in the backyard. A sandy sorrel horse sticks his head out and meekly approaches the stranger who opened the door. Arif touches the back of its head, then turns and straddles it. Ashram and Sergius poke their heads out of the small window on the third floor, and the lights illuminate their worried faces.
Allein für Karnezik.
Wait, what? Who the fuck is Ashram? Easton and Sergius, okay. If there's any progress on Zamoya, I will try to get word to you right away. Remember to stay in contact.
Z.
I will. She pulls the reins and the ranger's horse neighs and gallops away. With her pupils lit by the lamps, Arif rushes to St. Godhrkar Seminary. A layer of white snow falls on the frozen hard earth. Silence arrives late, as if the storm-like entanglement will ultimately come to an end by tonight. So we got Prai and we got Hyacinth. Okay, we're gonna go to Prai. What happened, Prai? Did Raven freak the fuck out? In myths and fictions, Aesurl is almost synonymous with omnipotence. Those blessed by Yishtis will show their extraordinary power in one aspect. The ones endowed with love will have otherworldly charm. The ones endowed with purpose will have sight beyond challenge. And what is given to Prai is never rebirth. His lung healed 2 hours earlier. For a fake, this is already a decent rate. He needs more time. The door of the train compartment is open. The dim moonlight starts to illuminate the area, and the furnishings become visible. Do not challenge me. He casts his misty sight to the source of the voice. Albert is standing near the door, and somehow Gal Warnock is lying at his feet, barely supporting himself with both arms.
Styria.
I advise you to figure out who is giving the orders here. Or is it that you're just a puppy dog under Lagarde, stupefied when you lose him? You are not, correct? Just like me. We are avenging our lost ones. Do not forget that. Albert lowers his voice, whispering beside Gal's ear. Prai tries to hear the conversation, but it's so far away that he can only hear a few pieces. We are prepared. Tonight? Sure. Gal's face brightens. He stumbles to support his body. Unwillingness and excitement, two opposing emotions, merge into a weird smile on his face. Albert looks away from Gal, rubs his hair indifferently, and walks towards Prai. The latter does not avoid his eyes, but he is unsure if he can survive the next round of torment. The footsteps stop before they reach him. Another set of hurried and messy footsteps approaches instead.
Kafar!
Why, no, Mr. Weiston. Several Thalozak stations are on strike, and Salbohm Station requires inspection. What do we do now? We're transporting instruments for the Holy See. They have no power to stop us. Be prepared, for we will stop at St. Godhrkar. Understood. Albert looks at his watch before turning around and walking towards Prai again.
Julang?
Well, we have to go too, dear Sir Sorrel. Time is running out. You should be praying for a pleasant way to die. The killer's eyes close again. In between the screeches of the wheels, Prai hears Albert slowly pacing to the door. He speaks to the man standing there.
Ah, the steer.
Keep an eye on him for me, would you? Someone comes in from outside. A different style of footsteps from previously. Prai tries to move his arms and immediately feels a piercing pain in response. It cannot go on like this. Getting from Salbohm to St. Godhrkar does not take long. There is no time to waste. Raven's safety at least gives him a little relief. However, the experience of being kidnapped itself is torture to his brother. The intimacy of the young man is gone, leaving only fear and anger. Pry understands the meaning of that look. Why didn't you rescue me in that warehouse? What's more important is to escape, so that they can figure out everything else later. He's the big brother, and it's his responsibility. Don't you want to deal with me? The train has been at a standstill for quite a while before Pry realizes. He glances at the window, seeing snowflakes fall on the high clock tower of the Divinity School.
Slish.
Listen to me. We're probably at St. Godhrkar. There's only one track down south after this, crossing the Stalinese River. We need to take the opportunity.
You're key Cillian.
You're quite familiar with Thalzak, brother. Is it because you've also killed here?
Oi.
Come on. Raven's behavior is uncharacteristic. His cold hatred makes Pry's head rumble, followed by a strange anxiety gripping his stomach.
Sure.
How many have you killed here? 5? 10? Or so many that you can't even remember? But that is indeed Raven's voice. It is not hearing him. It is not him hearing wrong. This is not the time.
Tran!
Answer me! The train sets off again, igniting Pry's anxiety. They have missed their opportunity in this life-or-death situation. He tries his best to get them out of there, but Raven still persists in his reasoning. Forget about it. Untie me so we can get out of here. Pry struggles in his chair, looking anxiously at Raven and growing desperate when he meets his indifferent eyes. Raven just stands there like a solemn statue. The flame of vitality has already been extinguished beneath the amber ashes. Bro, Raven, you better not kill Pry, I swear to God. Wake up, Raven. You can do whatever you want when we get out. Now we have to... Raven suddenly grips his neck, depriving him of the ability to continue speaking with the precision of a medical student. Ah, what the... Please, no, man, I'm almost there at the end, dude. The wounds on the neck tear open again, and blood runs down between his fingers. You're always hurting.
Team align.
Every time. Every time I see you, I suffer. I hate myself for being weak and unable to share your pain, but now I see it. How blind I used to be. I have no way to cure you with medical skills. I can only watch you bleed and kill. You don't understand. I have to kill him or...
Tran!
It is you who does not understand. The young man in front of Pry looks down at him like a raven staring at a dying beast. Still determined? Still blaming the victims who survived you? The desperate sense of suffocation continues to increase, and Pry finally starts to resist as his consciousness fades and his patience runs out. The hunter concentrates all his strength on his right shoulder, trying to get rid of Raven's control forcibly. They're almost scuffling. Raven is panting and finally has a hold on the back of Pry's chair. He throws him to the ground. He momentarily loses feeling in half of his face when he hits the ground, but it's not in vain. Luckily, the ropes holding him are slightly loosened by the impact. He wriggles, trying to untangle the knot. Before he can, Raven's shoe appears in front of him. He is also coughing violently, his face flushed from the lack of oxygen. You never regretted what you've done. I guess so. You always act on your own ideas. Thoughtless of what other people think. Thoughtless of right and wrong. Thoughtless of... You don't care about anything. He grabs Pry's collar. Was I always a burden to you? A younger brother who was always bullied and needed your protection? Or a family to cover your lack of family ties? Or neither? You just need yourself in an on-call medical kit couldn't be more convenient. Is that it? No. You don't care. You only care that you play your guardian role well. Pry raises his head and glares at Raven, not out of unbearable pain, but anger. You've got to be kidding me. You should wake the hell up, Raven. What are you talking about? We're not for you?
Fear?
Did you ask me? Do you think this is what I wanted? Seeing you hurt yourself and using me as the excuse? Little... Pry suddenly springs to his feet, and with an exclamation, a chair falls to pieces. Raven loses his balance. Ow! The doctor struggles to raise himself as a drop of blood oozes from his lip, and then falls again. Drip, drip. Raven lifts his eyes, and blood runs down along the curve of his jaw and onto Pry's clothes. His eyes are gloomy still, reminding Pry of Gal, who could only curl up when hearing Albert's song. The two pale faces overlap, both glassy and edgy like bony beasts. What have they done to you?
My fear.
It's not them.
T-Rods.
It's you.
Okay, Plastim.
It's you who drove me mad. The end of the line is swallowed in Pry's throat. He's pinned to the ground and something flows up into his mouth. Warm scarlet falls silently on the trembling floor of the compartment. He bites the mouth and kisses with the blood. Yo, what? Okay, does this mean you guys are making up, or does this mean you're about to fucking murder him? Guys, please? Pry lies rigidly. Something gritty scratches his mucous membranes and dunks in the blood that pours into his throat. The hideous body of Gilbert Fowlong comes to mind, and those raging fishermen and the mad musician. He knows it all too well. That fine, hard, and bitter touch is sand in the blood. Pry is dead, isn't he? Fuck. Maybe he has been crazy for many years. Raven thought that when he finally got his wish to gain this kiss. But it has only brought despair. This is what he dreams about. The missing resistance has grown his warped ambition. He is better than Pry, for he already knows that he is mad. Raven opens his eyes as more of the fishy stench creeps into his throat. And then he hears the applause. This is... bravo. Bro, is Pry still alive? Please tell me that Pry is still alive. I swear to God. Rorty must have been there for a long time with a carefully woven surprise on her face, like an opera singer who must make sure even the back, Rorty must have been there for a long time with a carefully woven surprise on her face, like an opera singer who must make sure even the back row audiences can see him. Okay. Looks like this time Votrue hands me a great gift. Raven pales. In the depth of his cursed mind, he barely collects a trace of sanity. This is a vicious revenge. The victim now steps on the murderer's chest, his leather shoes sliding through cracked ribs and a bleeding lung. He has found their weakness. For a moment, Raven's body tenses as if he's gotten a cramp. He tries to prove his innocence, but his blood-stained lips freeze. So what? Rorty wished for this revenge. She's already chosen unscrupulous justice over primitive emotions, so that the unrepentant perpetrator can be retributed.
Albert!
Thunder's face twists with anger, revealing blood-stained teeth. If he wasn't tied up with ropes, he would bite the young man's head off without hesitation. Albert? You. Lack of oxygen makes Raven sluggish. He covers his mouth, and a disgusting smell of blood immediately surges into his nostrils. He moves his trembling hand, and everyone sees the scarlet witness. Fine grains like sand stick to his fingers, reflecting a dim light. The friction is tormenting his esophagus, lips, and teeth. What have you done to him? Thunder starts to struggle once again. He still needs time to break free from the loosened ropes. Right now, nothing remains other than the clicking sound of the wooden chair hitting the ground. This is what I want to see. Your despair and anger. Her tone turns cold. The phony sweetness disappears from her voice, leaving only sharp words with a mixture of indifference and abhorrence plunging to Raven's stinging ears. I've come quite a long way to torture you. Isn't destiny marvelous? Don't you think so, Mr. Pry? There's a vague grunt from Pry's throat. His hands are clasped behind his back, secretly wrestling with the ropes. After getting rid of you, it will be Thalazak's turn. Of course, I don't mind letting you live to watch the city burn. Which is the better choice? The perpetrator has fallen, and the pathetic victim triumphantly removes the soft fleece covering his claws and fangs. The real beast begins to smile coldly. He's not following blood. There's no need to. Wherever he goes, there will be blood. Rorty is not taking revenge on any particular person. She's taking revenge on this world, on all aliens different from her. She will send thunder and blood to build their own kingdom upon the ruins. An overwhelming sense of guilt and nausea flood him. Rorty, Albert, was never a lamb.
Alain?
That's enough. It's my turn to taste your despair. Suddenly, Raven's breath catches. The hand gripping his throat, a hand as slender as a girl's hand, is now exerting a terrifying and unbelievable strength. His body is gradually lifted, and soon his numb feet leave the ground. The fear of being suspended in midair and the addition of suffocation make Raven's legs kick. Starting with you. Take a good look at this one, Mr. Pry. Watch how I kill him. When there is low oxygen in the bloodstream, elevated pressure in the eyes slows down the flow of blood even further. Now Raven can see Rorty clearly again. He is smiling with a sweet mockery at the corner of his mouth. Raven looks into those blue eyes, the eyes of a lunatic, aware and self-conscious. The eyes of Rorty. Albert. He is the lunatic. This is Raven's last thought before he loses consciousness. Yo, what? Alright, 2 more chapters. Oh, fuck. Midnight comes like a melodious song. The bitter north wind zips through the oak trees in the yard, ripping off fresh and withered leaves alike. Only the chapel in St. Godhrkar remains warm on such a cold night. The members of the Pearl Shell Orchestra are playing instruments, accompanying the children singing. Finishing the song, Hisano turns his music and sighs to a girl in the back row. You lost focus again, Sir Marine. I'm sorry.
Priscilla.
And you, Priscilla. You are the lead singer. Take courage and fully release yourself.
9.
Oh, all right. A flush springs to the girl's chubby face, as if her skin is burned by the candlelight.
Moria line.
Relax, kids. You're as good as any performer in the baptism festival. Due to the unexpected situations lately, he doesn't have the energy to teach the kids himself. The task is handed to Mother Morality. They also accommodate the visiting wandering priests, allocating them to different chapels. Fortunately, thanks to Priscilla and the other kids, the rehearsal goes well, even with a sudden change of repertoire. All right, young singers, your singing will make Isher cry for you. It is late already, so time to sleep.
Zia!
There's still wood in the hearth. It's a waste to leave now. There shouldn't be so much practice in the night before the festival, but not one of the children is willing to budge on the issue. Hisano sighs happily, interspersing as many breaks in the rehearsal as possible to prevent the children from overusing their voices. Someone knocks on the door when the choir finishes again. It's the night watchman, who is standing by the doorway. Father? Oops. Sorry to interrupt your rehearsal.
Claw?
It's all right. We're taking a break. What can I do for you? The train is on its way, and the sponsored instruments are about to arrive. Finally. Praise be to the Holy See. I heard our sponsors truly spent a lot this time and ordered top-notch instruments. Can't wait to see them. I see. A deafening train whistle pierces the air. The last train in the city today has arrived. As they approach the St. Godhrkar train station, several porters are already unloading instruments from the carriage. Beside the platform, the young priest finally sees the sponsor mentioned by the orchestra leader. He is a rare beauty, so radiant that even the night could not hide his attractive appearance. He wears a white gown, and his curly hair is tied back. A woman stands behind him, her eyes empty as if she is pondering something deeply, or having some otherworldly experience.
It's a lie.
Nice to meet you, merciful man.
Ah, the steer.
Ah, I have heard so much about you. I'm sorry we were late. You must be Father Mulnathan.
Vlochi.
Oh, this is the moment of truth. That's right. Thank you for coming.
Alain.
Let me introduce myself. I am the sponsor of this baptism festival. Albert Enem Lurman from Weiston. This is Rorty, our tuner.
Oh, Morien.
It's my honor to serve you, Father.
Steer.
I guarantee Rorty's the finest tuner you'll ever meet. Once she's allowed to participate in your rehearsals, she'll get all the instruments prepared in a single night.
Alain.
Thank you. May the Lord be with you. Apparently the father and the youth enjoy their little conversation. However, the weather thinks otherwise. Soon snowflakes begin to fall. The two come to their senses when shouts erupt around them.
Uh-huh.
Oops, we better hurry. These boxes aren't waterproof.
Kirkusi.
Let's go. After they finish with the instruments, the train blasts a cloud of smoke and sets off to its next destination. Only Rorty stays with the orchestra members. With the assistance of Heisno, the orchestra members move the boxes into the chapel. The waiting children immediately swarm to them like young sparrows, tilting their heads out of curiosity and dancing around the room. Heisno rubs his sore arm, staring at the weather outside through the lens missed by his breath. Feeling a little worried, the orchestra leader waves his arms in high spirits, ordering his tired crews to inspect for damage. Now that we have the instruments and people in good shape, let's play. This is exactly what the kids were waiting for. The girls cheer and turn to Heisno with pleading looks.
Zaki?
Shall we, Father?
Klo?
What do you think?
9.
Of course, of course! The girls look like stars have fallen into their eyes, and they line up hurriedly as they would in the festival, holding their heads up high lest they fail the performance. The tuner stands at the back, observing the progression of the rehearsal in silence. The children in the orchestra get along very well. Heisno even feels that their wonderful song can bring back the spring. He smiles, and like the rest of the orchestra, is unaware of the tuner's true identity under Albert's melody, and she will continue to sing the curse until the end. Fuck. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. That is far from good. Latsiriel hates his bad luck, and even more so the countless troubles following him. After losing track of the red-haired woman, he finds he has messed with big trouble. A metallic sound is pursuing him, unhurried, tireless. It is always behind him, forcing him to exhaust himself by going around in circles like a frightened rabbit. He once musters up his courage and casts a glance to the source. It is a middle-aged man with countless scars on his well-worn face, like a cracked and dehydrated land, which is enough to frighten any creature away. It isn't the face that makes him flinch, though. A leg of the middle-aged man is stretched in a strange way, hitting the ground like it was beating a drum and trying Latsiriel's nerves. A freak. A total freak. Pressing him with just one leg. The winter wind ruffles the hem of the wandering priest's robe, pouring chills into the neckline and cuffs. Latsiriel pulls the scarf tightly and rolls up the long hem, cursing the priests in the meantime. They spend most of their wandering comfortable on the train. Wait. Since I'm wearing this thing... The young gambler rolls his eyes. His cleverness, which he is proud of, has saved him many times in desperate situations and throws him a lifeline this time as well. The majestic stone buildings in the distance have lost all their features in the fading twilight, leaving only the outlines of the solemn domes and the compact bell tower. On the city skyline, the chapel of St. Godhrkar is the most eye-catching view. I just hope I don't run into that priest. The hopeful young man chooses to trust his epiphany, forgetting that his little tricks don't always work as intended. More often than not, they are the cause of his troubles. Almost there. Just around the corner. With a flick of the robe, Latsiriel rushes through the gate of his imagined ideal hiding place. What catches his eye is the empty and silent square. The street lights have been turned on, and their fluttering lights are the only moving things here.
Kislava.
What the? Shouldn't there be a huge crowd of buzzing priests here on Holiday Eve? What Litzeriel doesn't know is that he's not the only one troubled by the noise those wandering priests make. On this big day, when the choir is rehearsing in full scale, the confessor has already assigned them to rest in other chapels. The hope to blend in with the crowd is in vain. The lost gambler runs to the chapel with a few curses seeping out of his mouth, trying to find a gap in the door or a windowsill, just low enough for him to jump on. That's enough. The sound of bullets pierces through the winter breeze into Letzeriel's ears. Turn around, kid. Let me see the guy who almost killed that old monster. You are the old monster. Letzeriel swallows these cursing words, for instinct tells him he should talk less in front of this guy. He turns slowly to the pursuer with the hem of his robe comically rolling around his waist. The muzzle of the old monster holds still. Only the pipe in his mouth shifts to the corner. Another stupid youth.
Majesté.
But useful to you, no? Rhetoric is useless against this guy, so Letzeriel decides to be straightforward. You're working for the old professor, aren't you? I'm afraid you don't get to decide alone what to do with me, right? The old monster raises an eyebrow, but he doesn't look angry. He is not the type to be offended by truth. So don't point that thing at me. Your old professor wants to catch me alive, and he won't be happy if you bring a body back. The old monster doesn't move or speak. Anxiety makes Letzeriel's throat sore, and he spits on the ground, raising his voice to add some fuel to the ongoing negotiation. Oh, call me unlucky. I'll go with you, and it won't be trouble. Even if I do anything, it won't be your business, okay? The light of the pipe flicks up and down a few times. This seems to be the way the old man laughs. Interesting kid. Have you thought that I might not be here to catch you, but to avenge? The dreadful word pours out like a basin of icy water on Letzeriel's head, who opens his mouth like a dehydrated fish, but makes no sound. The old monster's half-smiling face begins to sway in his vision. Avenge? Yeah, the old professor is highly respected. Of course there are avengers. Letzeriel almost laughs. He is blind to such a simple matter because he's never experienced anything to it. Or like it? I don't know. Never caring for anyone, or being cared about. You have nothing. The Stalis pistol shows agreement with its hollow muzzle. The dark chamber looks like a morgue drawer, and he knows it's about to be filled. The street lamp makes a loud electric sound, waking Letzeriel from his thought, sweating and breathing hard. He throws the first question that comes to his mouth.
Majesté.
Is he dead? Guess what? Not that easy. This does not ease the boy.
Train.
And you're going to shoot when he's still alive? He's too old. At his age, any wound accompanies him to the coffin. Even if there isn't much left, it's been destroyed by you. He made the first move, and I was merely defending myself. Damn it. Damn, it was you all along. What did I do wrong? Letzeriel's desperate anger is only exchanged with a sneer from the old hunter. That's some good talk. Leave it to reasonable people. This sentence sounds like a conclusion. Letzeriel sees the old man's mouth darken. The tobacco is almost finished. Maybe that's why he's still alive. His struggle is but the topping to a pipeful of tobacco. Now the pastime is over. The prey is showing his dejection, and he lowers his head. Whilst the dignity that has been supporting him is exhausted in this confrontation, his lips still murmur, continuing with the futile effort that he himself doesn't believe would work.
Svea.
You see? The church is lit, so there must be people inside. They will hear it if you shoot here. And the blood? The blood is trouble. The floor isn't well laid and will seep down. He stammers as his hope extinguishes with the pipe. You really are nothing alike. The old man says some indistinguishable words. And then, a loud bang explodes in Letzeriel's ears. That was not a gunshot. Letzeriel opens his eyes, surprised when he sees the old man with a stunned look. What the? Letzeriel follows the old man's line of sight and looks behind him, stunned at what he sees. The once calm church now roars with a strange sound of wind, and an unseasonal storm rages around the courtyard. And the song, which he can't hear clearly, but what he can hear is so beautiful that he almost wants to step closer. Thanks to his sensitive intuition, though, he stays where he is. Bloody bastard.
Hey, Asselin!
What's going on here? You shouldn't be asking me, little bastard. This is your business. Unexpectedly, the old man shakes his head and puts the gun away.
Stylish.
I will let you live. Fix this thing. Letzeriel's jaw drops, partly due to his salvation, partly due to this unreasonably improbable task.
Huh?
Yeah, right. Are you kidding me? I don't even know what's happening.
Story clear.
You should know. You must know. This is something only you can do. Otherwise, there's no need to spare your life. With that, he turns and strides towards the door. Wait, come back! You haven't told me what to do! Are you serious? I'm going to run away! I'm running away now! The old man's steps are like that of a tin soldier in a toy store. He soon disappears in the darkness. Damn it. Letzeriel smacks and stomps, but he just can't leave it alone. As soon as he runs into the school, he sees the priest leading the children out of the chapel, stumbling, and falls to his knees within 2 steps as if suffering enormous torture. He goes to the priest and sits on his haunches, putting the priest's arms on his shoulder. Shervlin is singing in the background, dude. What happened? Before the priest can answer, several men dressed as orchestra members flee the chapel. Behind them stands a woman with long hair. She walks to the center of the garden, gracefully, still singing with her head held high. She is beautiful, but neither her flowing hair nor the extravagant dress is comparable to her singing. It is like a nightingale, a clear spring amongst the collision sounds of fine sand in an hourglass. The black gravel keeps gathering. The pieces flow to the woman's feet, swirling, forming beyond her shadow. They intimately wrap around the singer's expressionless face and soon overflow her shadow. So they break free and grow like vines toward the sky. What is that? The first to break out the shell are his claws, 2 of which hold the spire of the tower. Oh god, their god's coming out. The animal skin scarf takes the dark cloud's position, blocking the sky. He drills out of the ground, and the black sand and gravel form his huge body. He raises his head, heavy and huge like a bell tower, and looks down at them from an overwhelming height. The deity, who has been immersed in time and betrayal for so long, has once again opened his eyes, within which there are no emotions, just endless coldness.
Skylet.
Valkyria Newt. The frightening Yishtis has formed his shape, ready to judge at any time. His eyes gaze at the people on the ground, not demanding piety nor submission. He is simply announcing one thing, that the Yishtis of Kemedia has returned. Wait, father! Aerith breaks through the darkness like an arrow. She throws herself from the saddle and checks on the girls in Heisno before tying up her mouth. You're... She stops and everyone present sees another abnormality. A shimmer of light emerges from her arms. The red-haired woman takes the light out of her pocket. It's a small bony ring.
Yeah.
I've seen this before. The light of the bone is like a calling. It pulls out his hands, making him want to hold it, making him want to cry. It's like he lost a part of himself long ago, and now he's finally whole again. Protagonist moment. This is the moment the red-haired woman clears her mind.
Z.
Yes, I think it belongs to you. She whispers, reaching her hand with the bony ring toward Letzeriel. An invitation. He steps forward as the fragments of light condense around behind him. Even if he hasn't asked, even if he hasn't been promised, he is forever the chosen one. The boy reaches out his hand, and more light comes to his palm. The bell tower trembles in the wind, rustling with snowflakes. Everyone is now looking at him. The light is so dazzling that it almost devours Letzeriel's whole body, and a scorching heat rises from his feet, pouring out in all directions. The Yichties in midair looks down at the beings beneath him, as if he is watching a non-threatening fireworks show. The cheers of the living break through the wind and reach the young man's eardrums. Listen up. In the name of Ayasarl. I can only think of Parai. But that wouldn't even make sense because Parai didn't even have enough. But he was also referred to as a Sarl. Oh. But Parai wouldn't really make any sense. I don't think... How do you spell his name again? I forget. Is this how you spell his name? I don't know. I don't know, dude. The oath is confirmed. Oh.
Stiri.
Answer me. Wait. Wait. Wait, no. Wait. Yo. Yo, when I saw that it said put down the name, I thought that was referring to, like, throughout this entire story there's a true Sarl. Who is the true Sarl? I took that sentence to mean who is the true Sarl? Put down their name. Oh, I think that was referring to enter a username. I think I just named myself Parai. Yeah. Fuck. Okay, there's gonna be Parai character and then there's gonna be Parai me. Fuck. Dude. The deafening bell rings throughout the carriage. It's a deep, distant sound, as if most of the noise is being absorbed. The subterranean murmur of a great one buried beneath. In this long and seemingly endless bell, time is twisted and stretched. Everything seems to slow down in the carriage. And I spelled his name correctly too, so there's gonna there's gonna be Parai the assassin and there's gonna be Parai me. Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid. And in that instant, Parai finally escapes the rope. As the final bell tolls to an end, the lone wolf pounces ferociously at Albert, who is caught off guard and thrown to the ground. He subconsciously lets go of his hand to cover his head, but a sharp pain hits his back and knees. Beside him, Raven also falls to the ground, choking and coughing. No one could have imagined that he would still resist. The silver knife slips across the floor and stops in front of Parai, its mirror-like blade reflecting the hunter's face. Albert's Adam's apple twitches nervously as he drops Raven and moves backward, calling out to the thugs by the door. Kill them! Heavy footsteps tread across the floor and the thugs pass over Albert, pouncing on the others. The hunter, still kneeling on the ground, raises his head slowly, the knife in his right hand. He lifts himself up by the fulcrum of the blade before the thug rushes him. The thug starts to move his elbow to block, but in a split second, Parai slashes his arm at the chair. The second thug immediately stops a few feet from Parai, and the bloodstained blood... Okay. And the bloodstained floor is covered with the chair's splintered remains. Damn. Damn you bastard! Die! Pry doesn't want to waste any more time fighting nonsense. When the second thug hesitates, the hunting knife whirls smoothly in the hunter's hand. He raises the knife, and the black blood gradually consumes the thug's reflection. Pry's eyes widen. The slowed time is suddenly restored to its original state. It all starts and ends in a flash. A warm redness spurts out of the thug's slit neck and lands on the sawdust-strewn floor. As the dead body hits the ground, Pry turns quickly to grasp Raven's trembling arm.
Yashon.
Time to go. He has no time to comfort him, so Pry removes his hand and picks up his coat. The young man stumbles for a moment, then follows behind. The cold wind catches up with them in their flimsy clothes and whistles noisily in the junction between carriages. They are in the back of the train, and Pry quickly runs with Raven to the next carriage.
Mojestiras.
We need to get to the front and stop the train. He puts his shoulder against the door and pushes it open. Raven doesn't answer, but picks up his pace to keep up with Pry. Before they could exit the carriage, the hunter's eye catches a faint sliver as thin as silk, but as cold as ice. It soars relentlessly in Raven's direction. Pry shoves Raven behind him with one hand and catches the silver chain with the other. A series of connected blades loop under his palm, forcing the attacker to reveal himself. Gal stares darkly at Pry, his skinny figure perfectly concealed in the shadows. Only his hateful eyes and the cold gleam of his chain shine. He pulls it taut, and Pry's hand is instantly strangled with blood. You know I won't let you leave alive. Pry says nothing. He's been ready to continue the slaughter since he slit Gwyler Warnock's throat. No, long before that when he received the envelope. Gallo obviously has plans of his own, and thrusts himself forward like a galloping cheetah. Pry reflexively parries the blade, but Gal just misses it from the front. As the blade is about to strike his chest, the lanky youth leaps past the window, the tip of his shoe mere inches from the dark night outside. While the hunter is distracted, Gal jumps from above. The blade at the other end of the chain falls like a meteorite, while his soft silvery hair hangs over the young man's eyelids, obscuring his all expression. The metallic buzz spreads rapidly from the point of the blade. Gal quickly retracts it and flips back lightly into the shadows. Pry blocks Raven behind him, preparing for Gal's next attack. Pry doesn't look back. Wheezing in an increasingly unbreathable air, he tries to raise his voice.
Slish.
You go to the engine and stop the train. There's an uneasy silence. Pry doesn't know how much longer he can hold out. After the brief stalemate, Raven makes his move. Pry hears the young man's weak but resolute footsteps as he runs toward the front of the locomotive. Pry, staring at Gal, punches his fist around the knife. I named myself Pry. This is gonna get so confusing. I'm sorry. Oh. The long sound of the bell pierces the stillness of the night. Then the light from the boy's pocket flashes. The bone ring has grown so rapidly that it has lost the bloodstained color and is as thin as his finger. Familiar light passes through it slowly until it swallows all his thoughts. The bell continues to ring like ripples, spreading in a deep pool to stir time and space. That token. That's the token I gave to him. As he watches, the light flows, converging and rotating around him. At last, a piece of bone is gently lifted from the depths. He remembers everything. The young Sarl clasps the bone ring to his lips, as if to warn the horrible Ishsenpal to remain silent, and kisses the token on his finger.
Steery.
Come. Wind blows against him. Sarl takes hold of one side of the ring and immediately swings his arm away. Light bursts from the corner of his lips to the tips of his fingers, lacerating the space and revealing the savage bone blade through the gap. Killing the only word that can define the blade's use. It's nearly as long as a lance and has white bones on its back, sharp and cold. That is...
Vodru.
That's the response of Yishtis. So, you've reproved him, Godhrkar. If there was any doubt in Hysono's mind about the flirtatious boy, it is long gone. Now he is the Godhrkar's Sarl, servant of Yishti's, savior and defender against Valkyrianut, who seeks to ruin the world. The young man makes a strike, holding the pole blade straight to the ground. There's an incredible expression on his face.
Eh?
Wow, it's like
Tia.
a part of you. Hysono is kind enough to remind him.
Huh?
Wait, so you saw this coming?
Fee.
Well,
Oui.
I have read it. All imaginaries are of Yishsampal's willing, just as you, your Yishtis, Godhrkar, has embodied your faith to fight. The young man muscles, clasping the pole blade with his hands. The weapon quivers and makes a wholly empty sound, like the last note of a bell's ring.
Zindomia.
I didn't expect it to be so cool. Huh. It seems I'd better change my mind a little about the church. You guys don't just pray all the time and make everything dull.
Shang Mo Fearstar.
There's a lot you have to change your mind about.
Masp.
That doesn't matter. We have to face this Yishtis first. Aerith snaps at Sarl and Hysono. All the while, her eyes are fixed on Valkyrianut. The noise is subservient to the notes surrounding Valkyrianut. The melodious hymn is distorted and turns eerie and shrill, piercing everyone's eardrums in its frenzy. Father!
Moria Line.
Shh, don't worry. I'm here, miss. We have to...
Side.
It's too late. When Hysono looks back, he sees the entrance is blocked by a great arm, and no one could leave. All the Confessor can do is hold on to the children while Aerith stands in front of the orchestra. She has a rifle in her hand that she just unloaded from the saddle. But for all that, the weapon seems to have no chance of defeating this giant Yishtis.
Slinch.
Watch out, he's coming! You know how to use that blade, don't you? To be honest? Well, never mind. I don't think you'll like it. The young man grins, ignoring the expressions on Aerith's and Hysono's faces, who are concerned.
Sexy.
Anyway, I'll deal with him. He points his double sword forwards, and the sound of the wind cutting through the air is sharp.
Zindomia.
It'll all work itself out. The light in the Yishti's long, narrow eyes is suddenly drawn to the Sarl of another Yishti's, the only human who could stand up to him. His claws stretch out to his sides, and then they come at once. Ding! The Sarl immediately holds up his sword, but Valkyrianut turns his claws sideways to snap the stout trees in the courtyard before sweeping them across. Branches crumble, and the rough wood fibers and crevices give way in the dry air and fall to pieces. The elaborate decorations in the garden scattered across the ground. Sarl takes a step back and crooks his mouth as Yishti stares at him. What a bad mood you're in.
Moria Steer.
Be careful. It's not Valkyrianut himself. They're only summoning the fury of this Yishtis. Fury itself is irrational. What awakens beneath the song is his desire for revenge. The peculiar power of the Apostle is like the towering peaks of Kajan, and his monstrous limbs stretch out like seaweed. The emerging body shows only the upper limbs, while the remaining half of its body lurks in distant space. Even so, it wants to tear everything to pieces.
Sexy.
So, the priority is to take him down, right? With a hiss, dark sand and blood like arms from hell stretch out below with a horrible voice, clutching at everyone's legs as it screams into the center. The sand creations look like rabbits, just as their master does. With reversed joints in the lower legs, long powerful feet, and bulging leg muscles, they are granted with superior springing power. The sand smooths out their features like a steel mask with no cracks. The guardian Valkyrianut has awakened, and the army of Crimsand he has appointed. Now, with sickles in their hands, they strike at the human presence. Damn it. Stand back. Take the kids and find a place to hide. I'll take care of this.
Z.
I see. Be careful.
Your line, Russ.
Don't worry. I'll join you as soon as I'm done with these things. The footsteps behind him fade away. He takes a step forward, holding everything back with his sword. His face is still pale, but there is no trembling in his hands.
Dearie.
Bring it on, Valkyrianut. Okay, so we're catching up with everybody now. Hell yeah.
Yashon.
Time to go. That voice. A familiar hand lands on his shoulder, pulling his collapsing mind out of nothingness. Raven tries to open his eyes. The iron walls are the first thing he sees, and his whole field of vision trembles. The choking sensation from Raven's throat forces another cough from his throat. He doesn't want to cough, so he swallows the smell of rust and nods.
Może styras.
We need to get to the front and stop the train. Pry doesn't stop to express his concern. He doesn't even turn around. Raven lurches behind him, wiping blood from the corners of his mouth. The figure seems so far away, yet so close. As he runs, he casts his eyes on the little curl of Pry's hair. That's just as he remembered it. Extreme thirst quickly assaults his sore throat, and thin strands of sticky blood seep out, filling his mind with a burning sensation. But the hand that holds him lets go once more. When Raven notices, Pry is already standing in front of him, and Gal Warnock is nearby. There's a chain between them, one end of which Pry holds fast. Redness spreads across Raven's vision. Blood runs down Pry's back, and he leans forward as if he is using all his weight to counter Gal. You know I won't let you leave alive. When Gal's fierce figure comes again, the blade gives a metallic thunk across the chain. The wound on his back tears again, and more crimson fills Raven's sight. A flood of despair and remorse overwhelms Raven. He bows weakly, unable to hide his convulsing stomach as sand and blood ooze from his clenched teeth. He has done something unforgivable. Okay. He's going crazy with it.
Slish.
You, go to the engine and stop the train. For a second, Raven almost thinks he misheard, but quickly realizes he has to leave. Even if he stays, he can do nothing but stand behind Pari. From the moment he confessed, he'd lose his right to stand behind Pari. He lost his right, okay. The dizziness slowly fades, and it all becomes clearer than ever before. Raven holds onto the wall as he struggles to straighten his aching waist and legs. It's time for him to leave, if that's what Pry wants. The journey to the front of the train seems endless. A screeching of the whistle comes so fast that Raven shivers and turns his head. Another train is on the tracks beside them, with black smoke coming from the chimneys. The train is very short, with only a small carriage and a cinder box, as if to deliberately lighten the burden to catch up with them. Would that be their savior? A rush of joy comes over Raven, but he doesn't have time to celebrate. Raven runs around the coal box and into the cab. The iron door is knocked open, and the sight inside the cabin takes him by surprise. The instruments all work in an orderly fashion. Every hand points in the proper direction, and everything works together perfectly to let the train run unimpeded on the tracks. It looks perfectly normal, except no one is there. A chill creeps up Raven's spine. He quickly looks around the cab, and a few metal wrenches scattered among the pipes and gouges catch his attention. Which one? In his panic, Raven reaches out and grabs the nearest one, but he doesn't feel the train slow down at all. He has no idea what to do, so he takes his chances one by one, but before Raven can pull another wrench, the rope attached to the whistle fell in front of him. He doesn't know who else is on the train, but whoever it is, he has to be prepared. Raven has to communicate his intention to call for help. Without a moment's hesitation, Raven pulls the rope. The next moment, the whistle cuts through the dark night sky of St. Godhrkar. The figure in front of them is just as Aerith remembers. The look and gesture in the face of darkness have the same ferocity and fortitude beyond blood, as if tempered by fire. And her turn is not a betrayal, but trust. She trusts the young Sarl is enough to withstand the onslaught.
Beside.
Father, this way! The most important thing is to evacuate those who do not have weapons to a safe place. As the roar behind them grows louder, the Phosphorus agent and the young confessor hold the children's hands, guiding the members of the orchestra running away from the crimson. To the library? No, it's too close. Before he could finish, the hair-like Yishtis swings his claws once again, nearly cutting the roof off the hall. A loud crash of broken glass leaves a terrible shadow on the wall. In the name of Yishtis, Oh no, mein Fotru. The only thing to be thankful for is that it's a holiday, and the school is almost deserted except for them. Even the watchman is long gone. Arif looks around. Their exits are blocked. They have no choice but to go deeper into the seminary and find a safe place to hide.
Must.
This way. Inside.
Beside.
Come on, kids, hurry up. There's an earth-shattering noise behind them, sending everyone reeling forward. They steady themselves and look back, only to see a gaping hole lying where they just were. The slab stone is slowly rising into the sky like it's being lifted by an invisible hand. The rocks and trees that originally clung to the ground fall like streams of water. And as the sands of the Yischi spills, the remains are filled in. The Holy Grail of the church, the statue of Yischi's, and his only family photo burn all burned to the ground in Valkyrianut's rage. His eyes burn, and Hysto almost returns to the ruins, his heart aching to rescue his memories before they become ash. Father! It's too late, Father. I know how hard this is for you, but we have more important things to do now. We can't give up what we're trying to protect for what we've already lost.
Kixi.
I know. I know. He picks up the last girl, and like a shepherd, hurries the lost sheep to safety. Behind them, some of the Crimsans were attracted by the sorrel, but more are coming.
Beside.
Don't look back. Just run. At last, they reach the Great Hall. The building where the baptism day is to be held tomorrow is large and grand, and the thick walls are solid ramparts for them. Most of the wooden structure is connected by long, arched corridors like ridges and bones. Arif pushes open the heavy front door, urging the children and members of the orchestra to go inside before she locks it. There is no light, and everyone gasps for breath.
Mofirstar.
How has it come to this?
Good.
I should have come earlier. I'm afraid that it's the instruments.
Jot van mo?
Instruments? You mean these?
Thysteriadigus.
Don't hold them. Put them away. They're dangerous. Several of the orchestra members quickly release their hands and put away the new instruments. Soon a succession of shots pierces them. The drum is eviscerated to reveal an empty cavity. Fragments of maple and spruce lie scattered on the dusty ground from the violin's broken face and back. Several strings are still attached to it. The huge body of the double bass lies on Timpani's leather surface, which can be thought of as a shroud, and its throat is cut. Flutes and clarinets roll across the floor. However, the spirit released by that instrument has already taken shape and has pronounced doomsday upon every human being on the earth. Yarif puts away her gun and lowers her voice in the panicked orchestra members' eyes.
Slinch.
These instruments, they're all made of human flesh and blood. She hears a loud gasp from Hysono. Are you saying these instruments are the ones that summoned Valkyrianut? I'm thinking the same thing. Instruments could only serve the melody, and the person singing the evocative melody is the true culprit. Do you know anything about that? The confessor's eyes, prompted by her words, pass over each of the people he has led to the hall, the choir, and the orchestra members. Some of them are still with empty eyes, but all of them look tired. Before he could grasp the clue, a young voice breaks the silence.
Good.
It's me. It's us. Priscilla Sextius speaks, trembling and determined. She holds a sobbing companion in her arms, and the children gradually come to their senses.
Shammofirstar.
Oh, little sister, don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. You just happened to be here practicing the show. Right, Father?
Dear.
Yes. I was coaching them tonight with the band members, but after I left for a while, it was...
Zhang.
Aunt. The girl bites her lip, and her eyes drift between Arif and Hysono, tears pressing down on her long eyelashes. The lack of words catches Arif's attention. She crouches down, holds the girl's hands tenderly, and looks at the choir leader with placatory eyes.
Claudia Citro?
Then tell me, what happened?
Not alive.
At first, we and the Pearl Shell Orchestra were practicing songs with Father Hysono. Then when the instruments arrived, the tuner's sister... The tuner? Right. There was a tuner. The loud noise from the gate makes everyone take a step back. When Aerith opens the small window of the door, she notices the flood of crimsans have gathered there and are trying to break through the thick barrier. All of a sudden, a scythe comes through the window, and she ducks out of the way, landing in a pool of dust.
Must!
Look out! High snow helps her stand, and Aerith sees what she's trampled. It's not dust, but blood-covered sand that reflects a soft sheen in the light of the snow. It's streaming inwards through the keyholes and rapidly piling up on the floor. They're coming in! But before the first creature could stabilize its sandy form, a bullet scatters it into pieces. Aerith holds her rifle and stares calmly at the sand and blood in front of them.
Slish.
Father, lead back. Harmless-looking creatures come from far and wide for the bloody harvest of mournful lives. She confronts the Ishchi's creations. At the end of the road paved with blood and bone from countless people, she strives for the hope gained by every sacrifice. She takes a deep breath and holds a hand to her chest as she prays. A sapphire ring lies within the inside a pocket of her coat, softly glowing in the dark. Alright, Easton, how do you tie into this?
Moir Star.
I was wondering if I should sneak away from Thalazak when it's full of visitors and head south for the holidays.
Godhrkar?
Then why change your mind? Their tone is relaxing as they are just talking about the weather. Rather than as if they are just talking about the weather, rather than crouching on the roof of a speeding train in deep winter, ready at any moment to jump onto another equally speeding train. Because of this! I'm just a researcher! Can't handle this kind of stuff. Because you're the only friendly meta something, I guess. Amber utters a scream that is soon silenced by the rush of air. The professor has no field experience, and Easton has to find a way to calm his nerves. This bizarre experience will probably haunt the professor for the rest of his life, but after today, they may never see each other again.
Robesio!
Do you really think I can jump over it? In this wind, on top of a train? I could never do that, detective! Amber's body shakes, and Easton knows it's not just because of the weather. Tell you what, how about you wait in this car while we go over there? We'll stop the train before coming back to you if there's any problem. Amber nods, seemingly afraid that Easton will change his mind. Easton lets out a slow breath and stands up against the cold wind.
Floor?
Ready? The gendarme makes a loud reply. Many people had accompanied Sarkias from Illy City to slap Easton on the arm and give him a thumbs up, as they did in the trenches of the Civil War. Screeching sirens approach them, and they soon become almost deafening. Not far in front of them runs the roaring behemoth, whose metal carriages are clad in cold moonlight.
Slish.
Stay close. We'll act when Zamoya slows down. The gendarmes quickly stop smiling. The wealth of experience is revealed in those who served in the Civil War. They arc their backs, eyes fixated on the approaching train. When the locomotive finally passes the end of Albert's train, a terrible cyclone is created by the high wind blowing between them. Easton lowers his body to keep his balance, and then, after a sharp jolt, their train decelerates significantly. Move! Easton takes the lead and lands on the roof of Albert's train, followed by the gendarmes.
Align.
No. Professor, who immediately grasps his meaning, lifts the bundle and pulls the cord to wrap it around Easton.
Look.
Alright, take your weapons. Let's split up. After the panel is opened, the weapons are quickly distributed. They spontaneously split into two groups, one running to the back to search for instruments, while Easton leads the other to the front to stop the train. The sound of screeching metal comes from the carriage in front. The gendarmes and Easton exchange glances, crouching down to grab the edge, and jump into the metal corridor. Scattered snowflakes moisten their cheeks. Another crack comes from the front. Easton raises his head. It's the sound of iron chains smashing against the wall. Two familiar figures appear before his eyes. Gal Warnock's gray hair is wet with sweat, and his eagle-like eyes never leave the enemy's side. The man next to him is already red with blood and has a knife in his hand. The moment Gal rushes forward, the dark blue curtains blow in, blocking Easton's view. By the time he's able to aim, it's too late. Gal is thinner than most of his peers and too fast for his aim. There is a painful gasp in Gal's throat, but he quickly lifts himself up and pulls away again. and Easton is able to get his aim back.
Myla!
Don't move or I'll shoot! Easton's gun is pointed at Gal in the shadows. The young man doesn't flinch, but as soon as he makes his next move, Easton's ready to pull the trigger. Silence spread throughout the carriage. Finally, the young man in shadows slowly straightens his body under Easton's gaze. Just then, a familiar... What the fuck? Just then, a familiar and pleasant voice bursts forth. The song echoes in the empty corridor, and all the noises bow before the sweet notes. When the shutter goes through Easton, he immediately pulls the trigger. And nothing happens. Easton is stunned, and a terrible chill seeps from his heart. The same can be said of the gendarmes behind him, whose frostbitten muscles twitching in vain, unable to move through frozen joints. It's Albert's song. The whistling wind that pours into the carriage is taken as a servant by the melody, which, with its cruel and beautiful notes, deprives the soldiers of control over themselves. It isn't the pistol that malfunctioned. He can't even pull the trigger. Ah, damn it, we should have taken care of Albert, man. Who left him alone? Why is he still alive? No offense. This man is killing everybody. The melody is much colder than their bodies, yet the voice cannot freeze. Easton feels like an ice floe, drifting around in the waves, unable to get rid of it. He is stuck in the swaying carriage like a stone statue. Damn. You. With those whispers, Easton sinks to his knees without resistance. Out of the corner of his eye, the duel is interrupted. The hunter is nowhere to be seen, and Gal opened the window and has climbed to the roof. The cold keeps rushing towards him, and Albert's song finally takes hold of him. The wet, misty darkness falls upon him, engulfing Easton in its boundless mists. Okay. So, I think this is a good place to stop it for now. It's almost reaching the, Wait, does this not save? Please tell me it's saved. I'm gonna hope it did save, and if not, I'll just, speed through when I boot up the game again to get to the point where we were last time. But yeah, I'm just gonna call it here. It's 4-hour mark. I have stuff to do, unfortunately. So I can't stick around for long. Wait, something skipped. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for popping in, for hanging out. And I will see you guys next time. But yeah, next stream for sure the game will be finished, because I'm pretty sure this is just wrapping up the entire series. So by the time the boss battle ends, I'm pretty sure there's just going to be a bit where everybody goes back to their normal lives and wraps everything up. So I'm going to take this time to see you guys later. Alright. Have fun.